Can we? I just want to vent. This is just ridiculous. When things go wrong, they go wrong.
Why do you look like you're in the dark?
I don't know. Stupid YouTube's not working. Stupid StreamYard's not working. My stupid camera's not working. We got stupid stuff that is, happening outside of the show that's confusing and stupid. Everything is stupid right now.
I don't know. I agree. Sometimes you do need to vent. Sometimes
you can't just keep it in. You got to let it out, man.
I do agree with that. So we'll make this all work potentially.
What is this?
This is going to be the best 4-hour show we've ever done by the time it's over.
The dumbest thing ever.
Remember, it's someone's first time ever listening to us.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. When I worked, have you ever seen that sign? It's like a tourism or hospitality sign. It's like, hey, it's someone's first trip to Disney. Like, hey, Daffy Duck, make sure to do your best Daffy today because it's someone's first trip. So it's someone's first time listening. There's a lot to get into. I'll let Jim he can spend 45 minutes on Travis and Taylor. We'll do that at some point.
I could.
Coming up.
I'm not going to right now. Later in the show I will, but right now I'm mad. Padres keep losing. They're back in second place. Nothing's working. I'm mad right now.
All right.
I can be mad, right?
You can be mad, but let's do the show. Okay, so let's start with let's start with last night. And I understand the frustration and the criticism from Padres fans. So again, it's deja vu all over again. They took a 1-game lead in the division heading to Dodger Stadium. They lost 3 straight games. They had a 1-game lead against the Dodgers, and then we get to Sunday. They led in the 6th inning. They lost the game. They were tied. And then yesterday we had the 1-game swing because the Dodgers beat the Reds. They did so convincingly, and the Padres lost to the Mariners. And it's a little bit of more of the same as well because Mike Schilt on Sunday widely criticized for his bullpen usage. Understood. We talked about it. Jeremiah Estrada, it should have been David Morgan, right? That's what people were telling us. No, it should have been Morgan. Actually, it's almost like comical, truthfully. All the criticism levied towards Schilt Sunday was that he made the wrong decision with his bullpen. And then yesterday, it's David Morgan who allows the 5 runs. We'll get into the dynamics of it, but all of a sudden, Mike Schilt can do no right. Bullpen's been leaky. The Padres, Jim, have lost 2 straight, and they've fallen out of a first-place tie. They're now 1 back, which is actually 2 games back because of the tiebreaker.
All right. I took a deep breath. We're good to go. The last 2 games has been a 3-game swing. From the 2-game swing on Sunday to last night losing, Dodgers beating the Reds. Now you're a game back, and now you're also 2.5 back of the Cubs for the 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
You're only 3.5 up on the Mets for the 6. And what we've been talking about is, all right, look, the 2 options that they need to get is either win the division or get the 4 seed. And I think both of those are going to be tough because you now have to outplay the Dodgers by 2 games remaining. So doing that and then also hoping the Dodgers continue to lose to bad teams, that's going to be tough in itself. That's the big picture part of this whole thing. Looking at the last 2 days and especially last night, for everybody that was saying that David Morgan should have been in that game in the 7th inning on Sunday and then quickly saying, no, we actually meant Adrian Morejon should have been in that game. Look what happened last night. These things, you can't predict them. You can't say that a guy's going to come in the game and be perfect before the guy comes in the game. It's sports. Anything can happen. The 100% certainty is never there in sports. Even if a guy's having an amazing season, right? Guy comes in. Look at last year in the postseason. I think it was last year. Remember what Emmanuel Clase's ERA was in the regular season?
Yeah. He blew all those saves. Yeah.
He had a 0.6 ERA in the regular season. He was by far and away the best closer in baseball. Okay, you want to know what happened in the postseason? Go watch the Yankees Cleveland series in the ALCS.
Right.
All of those home runs that Clase gave up, all those blown saves in the postseason last year by Emmanuel Clase. So to expect and to say, you know what, Mike Schilt should have done this and it would have worked out. You don't know that. Mike doesn't know that. The players don't know that. It's yes, based on numbers that you make these moves, but also he's putting in guys that are pretty damn good. He's not putting in guys that are scrubs. You're not saying, hey, Yuki Matsui, hold a 2-2 tie in the 7th inning. Hey, Yuki Matsui, hold this lead in the 8th inning. He's going to guys that have been really good all year in David Morgan and Jeremiah Estrada. And you know what? Sometimes they just stink that night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is like, is Mike Schilt an idiot, or are people just being overreactionary? You know, like I think it's a lot of, and listen, we overreact to everything. And I'm not a Mike Schilt apologist. I mean, really, we're the furthest from it. But like, we're parsing down specific moments. We're talking about the fifth inning yesterday when David Morgan, did he get too many batters in the fifth inning? Yeah, probably. Did Jeremiah Estrada get too many batters after the home run when it was 5-2 against the Dodgers Sunday? Yes, probably. That's a completely fair thing to say. But it's not like if you get this great fifth inning yesterday from Adrian Morejon, you're destined to win the game. It's another 4 innings. The Mariners scored 9 runs, right? I mean, it's not like, man, that fifth inning was the reason why they lost the game. Their bullpen, by and large, has been very good. It goes back to the point that I've made routinely here since the 1st of August. If you're asking their bullpen to be perfect, I got news for you. They're not going to be. And that continues to play out. I think they've got a very good bullpen. Are they going to be historically good in October? If you are asking on them to be historically good in October to win the World Series, there's a very good chance you don't win the World Series. You know what you need to do? You need to play complementary baseball. You need starters going 5 innings. You need your offense to play effectively. They did yesterday. They scored 6 runs, and you need your bullpen to be good, and you need your bench to be good. But if the whole point is, hey, we're in a 4-4 game of the 4th inning, we cannot allow another run, they're going to allow runs. And it happened Sunday against the Dodgers. It happened Monday against the Mariners. And I just feel like that's way too thin of a margin for the Padres to operate on in October. If the expectation is 4 or 5 scoreless innings from their bullpen every game out, then unfortunately, they're probably not going to live up to that in the postseason.
I agree. You need to get deeper into games, and there will be moments and times where, look, you have a lead after 4, you might go to your bullpen.
Yep.
You might have to protect that. You know, on Saturday, you had a 2-1 lead. In that game, like that was the thing you had to protect, and you couldn't protect it.
Right.
So there are going to be moments with this bullpen that they just shut it down, but it's not going to happen every time. And the last 2 nights, it's, you know, their bullpen has come in and laid an egg and blew up, and it's cost them. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-game swing over the last 2 days with this Padres team, going from in first place, or at least tied for first place, to a game back of the Dodgers, while the Dodgers also hold the tiebreaker. So this has been some crushing losses the last 2 nights. And I do think that this is uncharted territory for all Padres fans. For us, it's all uncharted territory, because this is the latest in the season since 2010. No, 06 they won it, but 2010 they were also down to the final days of the season before the Giants beat them up at AT&T or Oracle or whatever it's called now. But you know, the Padres haven't experienced a pennant race / NL West division race this close heading into September since well over a decade ago. You know, last year kind of stumbled on us how, they're actually 3 back with 6 to play. Let's see what happens. And they were facing the Dodgers, and that was the triple play game. And it's like, oh my God, they're 2 back. And then the Dodgers won the next 2, and that just kind of ended that. But there's a legitimate chance that this team could win the division. And so I also think that it's, everyone's on high alert. Every win, every loss feels like either the greatest thing in the world or fire everybody, because every win and loss means so much, especially at this time of the year.
Yeah, I agree with that from the fan base's perspective. I do. And then I think from the team perspective, it's like, can you play your best baseball when you need to play your best baseball? Like, it was great to start 14-3, but it doesn't win you a World Series. It was great to go 14-3 from late July into early August.
Right.
It doesn't win you a World Series. Can you play your best baseball when you have to? Now down the stretch to win a division, the difference is massive between winning this division and not, specifically for the Padres. And the reason I say it now is the Padres are completely different at home than they are on the road. They're like a below average team on the road. They're 5 games under.
They are. It's a fact.
So they're a below average team on the road, and they're unbelievable at home, like top 2 record in the sport at home. So I've said before, winning the division, whatever, the ultimate goal is winning a World Series, but I've watched the Padres in 2025, and I understand how challenging it's going to be if you put yourself in a position where you're the 5 seed because you lost the division by a game and you're going to Wrigley Field. And should you survive that, you now don't have home field and you're in Milwaukee. And should you survive that, you now don't have home field and you're playing the Dodgers. You know what I mean? You are asking for so much to go right in that scenario. So this is what I would say. You've played 14-3 baseball twice. We're going to need it one more time because you're now tracking. Well, you're going to need to. You're going to need an 8-2 stretch.
Probably.
You're going to need it. I mean, I'd love for them to stumble into it. I don't think it happens. I think if they go 17-13 down the stretch, they're asking the Dodgers to go 18-12. You know, I think if they go 16-14 down the stretch, the Dodgers will find their way to go 17-13. You have to put pressure on them. I think it might take a 20-10 finish. At least you're putting pressure on by going 20-10. Anything other than that, remember the Dodgers can play 2 games worse than you. Would have to play 2 games worse. So you go 20-10, they go 19-11, they win the division. So yeah, I think it's going to take an 8-1, 7-1, 9-3. I think they need one more of those to win the division. I really do. I think they need one more of them.
And the good news is the schedule lines up for you to do that. You just have to go out and take care of business. After this Mariners series, your tough stretch in August is over. Now the run of you playing a bunch of bad teams begins. And can you take advantage of that? You know, we'll see what happens the next 2 nights. Hopefully they can take the next 2 games here and take 2 or 3 from the Mariners, and then they will finish off their tough stretch, you know, in good position, most likely.
True. Although easier said than done, isn't it?
Oh, the Mariners are right now at home are incredible. They're 12-2 in their last 14 home games.
And they're pitching their best 2 starters the next 2 games.
Yep. Last night was the night to get them.
Yep.
Bryce Miller's on the mound for them. It's got something like a 5.7. Now it's almost a 6 ERA.
Yep.
After he gave up all those home runs. And that was the game last night that you kind of circled as like, we got to win this one.
Right.
Because it's going to be tough the next 2 nights here against their best pitchers. And by the way, if you're going to try to outslug the Mariners right now, like good luck. It's not happening.
Good point.
You tried it last night and the Mariners said, no. Right. This is our game, not your style. We're going to win this game because we know how to slug. You don't. You slugged a little bit in this game. All credit to them. Tatis, we haven't even mentioned him yet. Finally hitting a home run for the first time in literally forever. But still, last night's game, and Mike Schilt will even tell you, that's not how they play. It's not how they win. It's nice to see them hit 4 home runs. You know, they did it last night. They did it last week against the Giants. Giants are a different team. They're awful. Mariners are actually pretty good. And at home, they're like one of the best teams in baseball. So if they are going to take 2 or 3 the next 2 days or take the next 2 games and hopefully win 2 or 3, you set yourself up really good. But if you don't, now the pressure's on here, and the pressure's already been on. You know, Twins, Baltimore, Colorado. Anytime you lose a game against those bad teams, you think the fan base is going crazy right now. Oh, just wait, man.
I truly believe the more I think about it, I think they need another 9-1 in them to get past the Dodgers, create more than a game of separation. I think they're going to need a stretch in them where they go, 9-2 over 11 games to feel good about their chances of potentially winning this division and how big it is for the Padres to potentially win this division in 2025. If you missed Aaron Goldsmith, longtime voice of the Mariners, you're going to hear a conversation coming up at 2:30. Darnay Tripp is going to join us coming up at 4:30. More on some of the positives on the other side, including Fernando Tatis Jr. getting off the schneid. He had not homered in over a month. We'll react to that on the other side. We'll hear from Sean Lewis later this hour as well, something he said this week at his pregame media availability. We're here until 6 p.m. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Darnay Triple Jonas at 4:30. I feel like he probably felt bad because he asked me to do sports rap, and I said yes. I tried saying no,
but you can't say no to Darnay.
I know, because he's done 50 conversations with us, and I've done 2 with him. So basically, we're plus 48. But he said no to us last time, so I'm like, I'm out.
He told us, though, he was going to tell us no. Next time we asked him, he said he was going to tell us no.
And he did. But then he asked me after he had said no, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So anyway, Darnay's going to join us coming up at 4:30. Oh, here's the point I wanted to make, Jim.
Okay.
I took the bait. I hate
Story of my life.
I hate to even admit this. I was on YouTube. You know how YouTube suggests videos for you?
Uh-huh.
And the video title was the Mookie Betts podcast of how, like, Padres and Dodgers are the best rivalry in the sport.
From when?
Yesterday.
Wait, what?
Mookie Betts with Will Smith from their hotel in San Diego. We should play the audio. But
couldn't get a Padre player on?
Exactly. I think they probably said no after the way this has played out the last couple of years. So it was Mookie Betts and Will Smith. And in the conversation, I only listened to the first 15 minutes because I think they moved on from the conversation. It was basically about how Padres-Dodgers has become the best rivalry. Well, 2 things from the conversation. He asked Will Smith, do you think this is the best rivalry in the sport? He said no.
Huh, okay.
Because he said the history of Yankees-Red Sox is I said, okay, I understand from a historical perspective, sure.
Yeah, but that's not the question.
It wasn't really the question. But here was the other thing.
You can't acknowledge anything Padres.
He really can't. Will Smith completely
and I respect it because
Mookie Betts honestly is cool with it. He was the one like brings it up. He's like, oh, it's like the best. I love Planet Petco. But here was the thing that I took away from it. The thing I took away from it was that that the Padres pushing them is now getting them going. He's like, we've had so many of these years. I've made this point a lot. That the Dodgers have had years where they'll win a division by 10 or 15 games, but they falter in the postseason. Where a year ago, for example, they were actually in a division race, whether we like to admit to it or not, right? The Padres were hanging around, and then that pushed the Dodgers to get over the top. They basically said the same thing this time around, which is like, they both were like, I'm glad the Padres have played as well as we have because we need something to get into our next gear. And now that we're in this like dogfight, neck and neck with a month to play, this is probably better for our chances of winning now and in the postseason, which I thought was kind of an interesting way to look at it. Remember, we head into the last weekend. We're like, do the Dodgers need the Padres to get going? And honestly, on the other side of it, I'd be compelled to say maybe the Dodgers do need the Padres to get going.
I can buy it. I can totally buy it. When you're on autopilot for as long as you are, and you have won as many games as you've won, and won as many divisions as you won. You need some type of external motivation to get you back up. Like when you're on top for how many straight years? You know, sometimes you need that motivation that pushes you to get back to that level.
Right, not just go through the motions like it's June. Like we just got to
like again, like, you know,
we just get to the World Series.
Like you need something to kind of kickstart and light that fire underneath you to keep winning. It's
right.
You know, it happens with the greats in sports. It's like you know, Michael Jordan, all he did was create these like narratives in his head to motivate him, because all he did was win. So if he didn't create those narratives and say, oh, this guy thinks I'm this type of player, or like, oh, Jerry Krause thinks that this guy's better than me, like, you know, who knows if Michael Jordan becomes the greatest basketball player ever, like he did. And that's the same thing in team sports. It's, you know, when you win so much, you need that extra motivation. That's why it's hard. You rarely see teams win back-to-back titles.
Sure, it's hard
because it is so hard to get yourself back up
the mental
to that level again when you just did it the previous year, and now you're thinking to yourself like, what next?
But let me spin this on you. Because if the Dodgers need the Padres, let's go down the path. I'm not saying it. I did, but Will Smith and Mookie Betts were saying it on this dumb podcast I ended up watching. But if they're saying it, why can't the Padres need the Dodgers to play their best baseball? Now, I'm not saying specifically head to head, but I'm saying in the here and now, and I don't know the answer to this. I don't know if the Padres are going 22-8 to finish or going 13-17. But I'm saying, why can't the Padres look at the standings in the USA Today, which may or may not still exist? Why can't they look up today? Why can't they look up today and say, it's there?
Well, I bet they do.
but why can't they take advantage of it?
Well, there's still 30 games remaining.
I know.
Or
that's why I say I don't know. There's 30.
We don't know. They don't need the Dodgers to have any motivation. The motivation is when they see how close they are to the top of the division and they have 30 games remaining. That's the motivation they need.
But can they capitalize on it?
We don't know.
But if they don't capitalize on it, don't you agree?
No.
Really?
If they don't capitalize on it.
Well, then they'll never capitalize on it,
So what are you trying to say? If they don't capitalize on it, then the Dodgers aren't something that motivated them?
No, I'm saying if they don't capitalize on it, isn't it saying something about them? How can you not, is my point. When you're Manny Machado and you've been here for 7 years.
Well, how could you not is very easy. It's that they don't play as well as the Dodgers play.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, is that acceptable? Like, but they have all the pieces. We've said, haven't you said, it's the best roster? One of, correct? There are no weak links. They're playing bad teams. Now, you don't control the Dodgers. If the Dodgers go 26-4, you can't control that. But I'm saying if you can't play your best now.
Well, I think it's very acceptable because even if they don't win the division, guess what? They're making the postseason. And then we'll go to, all right, can you win a World Series? And if they win the World Series, like you've said 100 times, will anybody care if they win the division or not?
No, but okay. I see what you're saying, but that's not really the point that I'm making. My point is, if it matters, like we're saying it matters, right? They're motivated by the standings. They haven't won this division in forever. They've been chasing this franchise for forever. If it matters, like, shouldn't that be motivation enough to play your best baseball when you have to?
It's definitely motivation to try to play their best baseball.
Well, my point
you can't always bank on you're going to just play your best baseball because you're motivated.
No, it's not best baseball. It's simple things like last Sunday, a 2-game swing is on the line.
Yeah.
You don't capitalize even though you tie the score up. Right. Or this Sunday, you have a 2-1 lead in the 6th inning. I get it. Each individual situation is unique to itself. And then you can't hold that game, and that's a 2-game swing. By the way, you add those 2 games up, it's a 4-game swing. If they would have won last Sunday at Dodger Stadium and this previous Sunday at Petco Park. And then yesterday they led 4-1 against the Mariners in this game that they quote unquote had to have because the Mariners pitching is better on Tuesday and Wednesday and they can't win that game. What I'm saying is, if they don't win the division this year, tell me the year they win the division.
I think that's fair.
Like seriously.
Yeah, because
tell me the year.
Because this might be their best chance.
In
a long time.
Right.
But we also said that about last year's team. Last year's team might have been the best chance to not win the division, but to win a World Series.
Right.
Since, forever, since 98. Did say that. And guess what happened? Just 1 year later, they're back in maybe even a better position. So, that's the same argument that, not the same, but it's kind of the same of, well, you should have pitched this guy instead of this guy. And if that guy pitched, then everything would have been better. It's like, you don't know that. Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows if next year they have a better or worse chance than they do right now.
Right. So to definitively say like, oh, this is their best chance to win the division in, 16 years or whatever it is, we don't know. I mean, as of right now, it's their best chance because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So yeah, we can say as of right now, in the last 16 years, this is their best chance to win the division and go out and take it. And if they don't take it, well, then the consolation prize is they make the postseason still. And the consolation prize could also be they get a home playoff series in the wild card round if they get the 4 seed. And then the other consolation prize is, well, they can still win a World Series.
I'll tell you why it's their best chance in potentially a long time on the other side of this break. We'll play Aaron Goldsmith, our conversation with the voice of the Mariners at 3 p.m. We'll hear from Sean Lewis later this hour, but I'll tell you why this is the year the Padres need to capitalize on. I'll explain that on the other side. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, so thanks brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We'll start with the Padres. They lost the Mariners last night, 9-6. With the loss, they fall back to second place in the National League West. With the Dodgers winning last night over the Reds. Game 2 of their 3-game series versus the Mariners is tonight, 6:40. First pitch, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. He is winless on the road this year. And tonight is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the regular season opener on Thursday at Snapdragon Stadium against Stony Brook. Need HVAC? This month, get 0% for 18 months on a new system. Schedule your free proposal at AndersonPHA.com. That's Anderson, fast, reliable, wow.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We'll hear from Sean Lewis on the Aztec chances to make a bowl game coming up in about 15 minutes. If you missed our conversation with Aaron Goldsmith, you'll hear it at 3 p.m. All right, let me just sell you on this. And like you said, nobody can predict the future. We don't know if the Padres win tonight or lose tonight, right? We don't know if they win the World Series. I mean, nobody knows.
We don't even know. We might not even be live tomorrow.
That's the thing. We don't know anything.
The asteroid could come and just wipe us all out.
Travis and Taylor they might break off their engagement.
No.
They might.
That's not happening.
It may be over.
They are meant to be together forever, John.
What I'm hearing is it's gotten rocky since
that is the one certainty in life right now, which is Taylor and Travis.
Right. Okay. But hear me out. Kylie McDaniel puts out his updated rankings today of farm systems.
Oh, here we go.
And it should come as no surprise the Padres are dead last.
I wonder why.
In Major League Baseball, because they no longer have enough players to field teams, obviously.
Wait.
In their farm.
Is Luis Campusano considered still a prospect? My guess is no.
I didn't actually look at their top
because Luis Campusano is the reincarnation of Barry Bonds in AAA.
Of course, he is
their farm system.
I know he's not a prospect, but my point is he's in the minors, and I know he's not, but still he's like the greatest AAA player in the history of the sport.
They have Ethan Salas, right? So prior to 2024, Kylie McDaniel had them as the 4th best system. And what have they done? They've spun that for a ton. Yeah. I mean, a ton of major league players because of the, highly sought after prospects they had within their system. Now, make no mistake, you know what's going to happen. Preller with the 30th best farm system is going to turn this for major league talent as well in 2026. But this is my point, that you can't keep going to the well every July 31st and be like, Ramon Laureano, Ryan O'Hearn, Mason Miller, Freddie Fermin. You can't do it every year. You can't do it every year. You can try to do it every year. He hasn't actually truthfully done it every year.
You can't do it every year, but you could do it every other year.
He's actually kind of done it every year. I mean, he's done it 2022, 2024, 2025, is he not?
Yes.
Of course, 2023 because he didn't have a good team.
Let's just look back. 2020, he traded everybody. I mean, look at the Mariners bullpen. It's all former Padres, Brash and Munoz.
Right.
2021 offseason, they traded for Snell, Musgrove, Darvish. All right. 2022, the Juan Soto trade. Hello. Yep. 2023,
nothing.
It was fake. They traded for nobody. 2024, they traded a lot of pieces that year. It wasn't just at the deadline. It was like throughout the entire season. And then this year, look what happened at the deadline.
But can they keep doing it?
My guess is if he's done it for this long over the last 5-6 years, the answer would be yes.
With that level of return in major league players, I mean, it's possible. I mean, but it's also possible he can't, right?
I mean, both things are possible.
That was my point, that nobody knows.
But his track record would lend you to believe that there's a better than 50% chance that either next year or the following year, AJ Preller will do, if he's still here, by the way, it's a huge talking point, probably will do kind of what he's been doing since, he got here and the team was in contention, which is build up the prospects and then trade away for talent.
Time out. What's the huge talking point? If he's still here?
Yeah.
That's a huge talking point?
In the offseason, if he doesn't get a contract extension, yeah.
But is it a huge talking point if you think there's a chance he's not here if this team's in the postseason in a year?
I don't know.
I think that's maybe a bridge too far.
I know that some people, I know you probably think that it's 100% certainty that he's going to get a contract extension.
Well, I think if you talk about more likely than not.
I would agree that he should get a contract extension for what he's done.
Well, would you agree that it's more likely than not that he'll be here? Just like you said, it was more likely than not that he would make
I would hope
trades.
So.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a realistic scenario where the Padres move on from AJ Preller.
if
he's in the postseason. This is the guy that just moved heaven and earth the last 5 years.
I know.
You just said.
But, I mean, things do change very quickly, John. And until he gets that contract extension, until it's announced by the team, there has to be some, thinking in the back of your mind, are they really going to just let AJ Preller, go?
I hadn't thought as simply as that, as bluntly as Preller's just going to, they're just going to let him go. Hey, his contract expired. They went 93 and 69, 3 straight years. Peace. I hadn't thought about it like that. I thought, well, if things go haywire, but they didn't go haywire.
No, they haven't.
You know what I mean? Their position, like you said, they're making the postseason whether they win this division or not.
Right. And I'm telling you, I don't think AJ Preller should go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't. Nor do I.
I'm just saying that, don't you find it kind of odd that they still haven't given him a contract extension yet?
It is a little interesting. I do think it's going to happen in the offseason, but I guess it's a fair point that you never say never. And of course, he could always leave. There's always that possibility.
He's about to build postseason roster for the third time in the last 4 years. He's about to have a team that the last 4 seasons have had winning records. That hasn't happened here in San Diego ever.
That's why I don't see any world where he's leaving.
And yet he still does not have a contract extension.
I know, but I don't see any world where he's leaving. Basically,
I see a world that he could leave. I don't think it should happen.
Well, it's 2 questions. He could leave.
Yeah,
I agree. He could get a better opportunity. I just don't think he could be pushed out at the end of this deal. My overall point here is at some point, Manny Machado's 34 next year. At some point, your system is 30th next year. At some point, the luck runs dry. I'm actually making your point. You typically make the luck run, the Padres aren't going to be able to compete like this for forever. There'll be a period where they take a step back.
Yeah, and I agree with
that. To some extent.
There's not going to be a situation here where the Padres are in the postseason the next 10 straight years.
Sure, of course not.
Because Manny's getting older, Xander's getting older. We have no idea how Tatis is going to be as a player going forward.
Right.
Same thing with Jackson Merrill, right? The future of this team, it's not going to be just set in stone for the next 10 years. So, yeah, I agree. You guys capitalize while you can now, for sure. But
I felt last year, too.
Yeah, you always feel like that. When your team hasn't won a championship, you always feel, hey, they need to capitalize now because who knows when this moment comes again.
Well, also when you're getting closer, and I know they didn't make a World Series last year, but they tested, obviously, the Dodgers. It was a very good series, and they played really well in the second half of the year. And I feel like right now the Padres have some things working in their advantage, one of which is an open National League. The Dodgers haven't run away with it. They've proven to be susceptible. Padres have this no weak link roster that everyone's hyped up to be arguably their best roster since 1998. I just don't know if you'll have your best roster since 1998 every year moving, not every year moving forward, obviously, but are you going to have it in 2026?
Of course.
Are you going to have it in 2027? And maybe they will. Maybe they will.
The pressure's on, man. There's no doubt about it. The pressure is on for any team. I mean, it's not just the Padres. You don't think the Phillies feel pressure? You don't think the Brewers, who are on this incredible run of a season, you don't think they're talking about the same thing? I got to capitalize on this year because they haven't had this season in forever.
All of them have, all of them are different. I mean, the Dodgers don't have it. Hey, they haven't won it in forever, but they're trying to win back-to-back World Series.
They're dealing with a different pressure.
Exactly.
The pressure of having to win. When you look at dynasties in sports, the second, the third is always the most difficult, especially if you're trying for back-to-back. In football, the Chiefs, they faced a lot of pressure. It was Super Bowl or bust.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, once they got KD, they had to win NBA titles.
Right.
Look at the Dodgers. They got Ohtani. They have to win World Series. So they're dealing with a different pressure and some could argue that pressure might be greater than the pressure that the Padres or the Brewers or whoever else is feeling to win, one of their first World Series titles in franchise history.
Well, certainly they have the brighter lights on them.
For sure.
I think just clearly they've got the brighter lights. But yeah, you're right. There's pressure in San Diego. There's pressure in LA. And there's pressure with a lot of these clubs heading towards the postseason in 2025. We're going to catch up with Aaron Goldsmith, voice of the Mariners, at 3 on the other side. Can the Aztecs return to a bowl game in 2025? In year 2 under Sean Lewis. We'll hear from Coach Lewis in his own words. Plus, Darnay Tripp will join us at 4:30 from NBC7. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, donate trip, NBC 7 at 4:30. If you missed Aaron Goldsmith, voice of the Mariners, you'll hear a conversation coming up at 3 p.m. We have the Aztecs opener Thursday at 7:05. Pregame coverage will begin at 5 from outside Snapdragon Stadium, which means we've got a shortened John and Jim, actually, on Thursday from 2 to 5. So Jim's got a short show on Thursday.
Oh, man.
Nobody else does. I'll be working. Brent will be working. But you have a show from 2 to 5 Thursday. So make plans with Aaron.
I will.
You guys can watch the Travis and Taylor, how the photos were taken and how, because of the light that they used, it actually is signaling her 14th album coming out in 2029.
Is this the worst day of your life, Brent?
I'm going to have the show on mute for big chunks today.
Is it the best day of your life?
That's not the best. I mean, I just don't. I don't know, whatever.
No, I'm entertaining it all day. But what's your primary takeaway
from Taylor and Travis?
Right.
That it basically just was the most random announcement ever. Like usually,
how'd they announce it?
On Instagram. It's one of those things where like she's so meticulous with all of her announcements that everything has a meaning. Every announcement is planned.
Right.
And everything is just
an album.
Is the engagement?
Right.
Not that anybody knows of.
Okay.
Because everyone first was like, all right, what's the date? It's 8/26. What do those numbers mean? Right.
Right.
Like the timing of it. It's just like random. I kind of find it funny to think, was Taylor just like sitting there and like, all right, time to post my engagement like announcement to her 280 million followers on Instagram.
So she
in the entire world.
Is it a collaboration with Travis Kelce?
Yeah, it's a collab with Travis Kelce.
It's her post. I mean,
it looks like it's her post.
Like it says Taylor Swift.
So I'm just like, it's just funny to think Taylor's probably just sitting there at her house, like, all right, time to post our engagement.
Like everyone else, I guess.
She used her own song that she wrote for Travis as like the song for the photo.
Right. So they're real people too.
Yeah, they are.
When's the wedding?
I don't know. Did the ring though? Oh my God.
He spent some money on it?
People are saying it's like a $500,000 ring.
Is it?
I know. I kind of was surprised by that. I was like, it's Taylor Swift. Don't you think you gotta get that thing up to over $1 million, buddy?
All right, so it's officially official.
You know the person on you're not on TikTok as much as, but me and Darnay, we actually follow this one guy on TikTok who can find any place in the world by just seeing a picture for like a half a second.
Okay,
he's incredible at finding where places are, where people like, hey, where's this picture located? And he'll just like be like, oh, the color of the sky points me to Africa or something.
Right.
And he gets it right like all the time.
So where was it?
I don't know, but I'm saying that someone needs to give this photo to this guy.
Got you.
To find out where this engagement happened.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Because I bet you can find it.
Doing the deep dive, I'm sure. Like, they're looking at like metadata to determine the second these photos were taken and from where.
And then people are kind of speculating like, when did this happen? It wasn't just... It didn't happen like on Sunday and then all of a sudden Tuesday, she's like, let me post my engagement. Like what?
I mean, it is among the more viral sports plus entertainment stories ever. It's basically like a royalty type situation that's played out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It has the makings of that, the attention that it's received.
It right now in 5 hours has 18 million likes, 7 million shares.
Insane.
It's got to be one of the most liked Instagram posts, or it will become in the first 24 hours. Like it's only been 5 hours and you're nearing 20 million likes. It's kind of crazy that, that just dropped on a random Tuesday.
I mean, I guess it was always going to be random, probably, like an engagement is never going to be like, hey, tune in at 5 o'clock on Thursday.
Right.
Like it was always going to be like,
but now the
unexpected.
Yeah, now everyone's like, oh, when's the wedding and where's the wedding going to be? Right. And of course, like my wife is going. She's like, oh my God,
I know.
But I think I'm more excited than her.
I can tell. All right, let's hear from Sean Lewis. All right, this was yesterday. He spoke with the media for about 40 minutes. Actually, yesterday. You're going to hear the Sean Lewis show coming up at 6 p.m. By the way, 1 full hour. Me, Rich, and the head coach of the Aztecs getting you ready for Thursday. This was yesterday. I love this back and forth. This is. Sean Lewis, is the question in here, Brent? You can kind of hear it. It's about, can San Diego State make a bowl game? Listen to him.
Can this team make a bowl?
Hell yeah. You guys want me to elaborate on that? Yeah, I'm confident in this team. I'm confident in the work that we've done. There's something special that's brewing in this building that I'm really excited to unleash on Thursday night. And we got to do that one step at a time. Right. But we all know what the standards and the expectations are around here. And it was one of the most exciting reasons why I took this job. Right. And so, yeah, we have a standard to uphold, and we've been working relentlessly to get the talent in the building, to make sure that talent and the mindset is right for us to be able to go do what we're capable of doing. So hell yeah. I told Jamie on the way in I wouldn't say another word. So hell yeah, we can make a bowl game.
That's a strong words.
Very strong
right?
words.
We said this yesterday, and oftentimes coaches won't be pegged down, or managers with like true expectations. Sometimes they will.
Mike Schill came in here, said we were going to want to win a division over the Dodgers.
He did.
We're like, excuse me.
Yeah, that was big talk, and it's been backed up just to some extent at this point.
Yeah, and the same thing with Sean Lewis. Yeah. You're talking a big game here, and you got to go out and you got to back it up. He knows it, and they know if they don't reach a bowl game, that's going to be a disappointment, and he's got to wear it, and it's not going to be a pretty look. They're trying to build something here, essentially from the ground up, because this thing, as far as it cratered. Like they were winning at a high level. They were, competing for Mountain West Conference division, conference championships, excuse me. And then all of a sudden, over the last couple of years, this thing just went, and now you got to build this thing back up, and you have to gain the credibility back from the fan base. You can't just talk about winning. You have to go out and actually do it. And so, yeah, it's a big year for Sean Lewis and this program to prove to this fan base that what he is saying is going to translate to on the field.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair point. I mean, I do think he's got pieces in place that would lead you down a path that they can have more success than 2024. And it's less about, again, the quarterbacks are going to go a long way, but it's more about what he brought back. A lot of the key pieces from last year, and you might say, well, they didn't win last year. But there were key individuals that needed to be brought back to give you your best chance of winning at a higher level. And I think he was able to do that. And I think it starts there. I think the complementary pieces around the returnees gives them the opportunity to be as confident as they feel. Sean Lewis was confident. A couple of players spoke with the media yesterday and echoed those words that they do expect to make a bowl game in 2025. And again, the Sean Lewis Show coming up tonight. 6 p.m. San Diego Sports 760.
Got you.
All right. If you missed our conversation with Aaron Goldsmith, the voice of the Mariners, you're going to hear that on the other side. Darnay Triple join us at 4:30. We do have Jonas Brothers tickets to give away today. We'll do that as well. We're here until 6 p.m. But hour 2 of John and Jim, we're going to hear from Aaron Goldsmith on the other side. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by Toyota of Poway in the heart of San Diego. Padres lose the opener to the Mariners last night, 9-6. With the loss, they fall back into second place in the NL West as the Dodgers beat the Cincinnati Reds last night. Game 2 of their 3-game series versus the Mariners. Tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. And tonight is the Sean Lewis's Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener this Thursday at Snapdragon Stadium versus Stony Brook. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by the USA Today with APRS as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. There's no better time to buy now during the Labor Day sales event, only at Toyota of Poway in the heart of San Diego.
Previously on John and Jim.
It's not like Judge is doing something beyond judging, so to speak. He's being judged, but it's not even the best season of Judge's career, so I got to give it to Cal Raleigh because of that.
Look at Judge's career. I mean, this is a damn good season. Judge has had 2 better seasons than this. Last year, 58 and 144, 36 doubles. Like, that's an MVP season. If Judge ends the year with, say, 47 home runs and Cal Raleigh ends the year with 58, 59 home runs, especially at the position that he's playing, catcher, it's a premium position.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have to look at that and it be the deciding factor here.
Now, live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of John and Jim. We will have Darnay Tripp from NBC7 joining us at 4:30. We do have Jonas Brothers tickets to give away today. And if you missed Aaron Goldsmith, longtime broadcaster with the Mariners, we had him on prior to the start of the series. So this was yesterday. And I remember since yesterday, Cal Raleigh has hit another home run. But that's where we started yesterday with Aaron about how impressive it's been to watch Cal Raleigh, who was basically signed for what's looking like a bargain now, a 6-year, $105 million deal in the offseason, and he's put together this terrific year. Take a listen.
Yeah, it's great to be back with you guys. Always fun to watch the Mariners and the Padres. I don't think anybody thought the Mariners were buying that low on Cal Raleigh when that deal was signed, but it certainly looks that way now based on what he's doing. Yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday and earlier today as well. It's just Cal Raleigh's kind of turning into just a one-of-a-kind player at his position when you think about, obviously, the home runs this year and the record that he said yesterday. There's never been a catcher hit more home runs in a season than Cal. And, you know, when Salvador Perez did it, he did it at the end of September. When Cal Raleigh did it, he did it at the end of August. So there's certainly more time for him and more history to be set this year. But to have a player at that premium of a defensive position, not only have an offensive record, and a notable one at that, and then also have the defensive hardware of the Platinum Glove that he won last year. I mean, that's a pretty one-of-one kind of player. There hasn't been a guy who has had that much of a calling card behind the plate and that much power at the plate. He's carving himself into a pretty rare class of catcher, and there's still a long way left in his career. Which means that, you know, there's a lot ahead of him in both a good way, but also in that he has to endure, right? This is 1 or 3 great seasons does not make a Hall of Fame career, but I think it's safe to say that he's on a path right now, not just this year, but the last couple of seasons before that, where you're like, well, if you project forward, if he can do some version of not necessarily a 50 home run season every year, but if he can do something like he has been on average for the last 3 years, for the next 5, I mean, you're looking at a pretty incredible peak of a career for a guy in Cal Raleigh.
Mariners are 11-2 in their last 13 home games. They've been incredibly hot at home of late. What's made them so difficult to beat at home here in the month of August?
Well, for the Mariners at home, not just this year, but last year as well, there's just been a huge pitching advantage for the Mariners. If you look at the home road splits dating back to last year, now you could go back even farther than that. T-Mobile Park has always been a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but it has really been exaggerated, I think is maybe the best way to put it, dating back to last year. The numbers are it's a pretty stark contrast. Now, the Mariners have had some real blow up games on the last road trip that certainly contribute to this year's home road splits. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten quite to the bottom of it other than just the park factors involved. And maybe that's enough of it to explain it. But there's a certain level of confidence, I think it's fair to say, that Mariners pitchers, and particularly Mariners starting pitchers, feel when they pitch at T-Mobile Park. And yes, the numbers, not just for the pitchers, but the win-loss record that it has helped result in is pretty staggering. And if the Mariners, if they want to chase down the Astros, if they want to win the West, and they want to get into the playoffs as a division winner, they do have to take advantage of games at home. It is a great home field advantage when you think about the pitcher park that it is, and then also the caliber of pitching that the Mariners have.
Great pitcher's park, but that also impresses me more about Raleigh, who's hit half of his home runs this year at home. I think 24 at home and 25 on the road. We're with Aaron Goldsmith, who calls games for the Seattle Mariners. Obviously, the Mariners at the deadline, going for it, so to speak. How have the moves worked out or not worked out to this point over the last 3+ weeks?
Well, the Mariners stole the corner infielders. They didn't steal; they traded for him. The corner infielders for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And Josh Naylor has been fantastic. He is a free agent at the end of the year, as is Eugenio Suarez. And Suarez, as you know, is not just a Mariner for a couple of years, but a over-the-moon beloved Mariner. So the fan base was more than ecstatic when he came back. Suarez has not been the 40 home run guy for the Mariners since being acquired. His bat has been slower to kind of come around. We've seen more strikeouts from Suarez in his second go-round with the M's. Naylor's been more than solid. He's been very good. His bat, his demeanor, I think, is something this team really craved, and at a position of great need at first base. And then the sneaky move the Mariners made that is below the fold compared to those two bats I just referenced is a really veteran lefty in Caleb Ferguson, who you guys have, I'm sure, seen in the National League over the years. And he gives the Mariners another high leverage lefty that they really needed. So the Mariners had a very good deadline. They were able to make all those moves without giving up any really huge prospects. Those moves needed to happen for the Mariners. I'm sure they wish they could have done more for their bullpen, but they certainly did a lot to help this lineup, and it has really lengthened the lineup for sure.
Back to Cal Raleigh, because I'm sure everybody in Seattle thinks that Cal Raleigh should win the MVP this year. But as of right now, Aaron Judge is still the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. In your opinion, what do you think Cal Raleigh needs to do to make sure that he gets the attention of the voters to vote Cal Raleigh here as the American League MVP? Because I feel like it should be a pretty close race.
Well, it should be. And, all the credit to Aaron Judge as well. Obviously, he's on pace to be one of the all-time greats. And even though he's been injured this year, maybe he hasn't been quite the same guy since coming back, his numbers are still remarkable. And if he were to win it, nobody would say that was a bad decision. He's had a spectacular season, as has Cal Raleigh. I think that the things that you have to weigh in that makes it a little muddy and murky, and it's tough, bottom line, is when you're talking about voting for Cal for the MVP, you are prioritizing his position. And you are prioritizing the fact that you are seeing truly an all-time, one-of-a-kind season at a position that, not just historically, but like all-time historically, has been the outlier worst offensive position in the history of Major League Baseball. So to get that from the catcher position, from a guy who has won a Platinum Glove. Now, he might not win a Platinum Glove this year, but even if he's not to that caliber, I think most would agree he's still a very good, very impactful defensive catcher. And so I think you're really prioritizing the position that he plays, the work that he does on both sides of the ball, and we'll see where he ends up in the home run record or home run march. But I mean, he has a chance to get to 60 home runs. He has a chance to tie, if not set, the all-time American League record. Now, that would take a lot. He's on a 60 homer pace, but he's certainly capable of that. But I think the flashing red light for Cal Raleigh will be, what does the final home run tally look like for him? And that will help push him more than anything else.
It's interesting you say it, because the Griffey mark in Seattle is what?
56, which he did twice.
So, okay, Griffey's done 56. What's the most home runs ever hit by a switch hitter in the history of baseball, right?
Yeah, so that's coming up as well. That's Mickey Mantle. He had 52, and then 54. He's coming up on it. So ish. So I mean, yeah, he's already broken. I mean, the records that he's broken this year are stunning. And I'll give you one quick peek behind the curtain from an at-bat earlier this year from Cal Raleigh. he had an at bat where if he would have homered in that particular at bat, I'm on the pushing the talk back button with my producer, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to make sure I'm getting all this right. And we're going back and forth as the at bat's going on. It would have set the Mariners record for most multi-homer games in a season. It would have set the switch hitting record, passing Mickey Mantle, for the most multi-homer games in a season. It would have been the second time this year and the sixth time in his career that he would have homered from both sides of the plate. And I think that one would have might have tied Salvador Perez for the all-time catcher record. So, I mean, that's insane. What we're talking about here, guys. I mean, the laundry list of not just greats, but inner circle greats that he has passed or potentially will pass this year. It's very tough to keep up with. It's a great problem to have for everybody involved. It's a truly one of a lifetime kind of seasons that we're watching unfold.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if you set the switch hitting all-time mark for home runs hit in a year, surpassing Mickey Mantle, you're the American League MVP. We'll see if it plays out that way or not. Aaron, one more for me before you go. Again, Mariners and Padres coming up. We appreciate you taking time. Julio Rodriguez is like a tale of 2 years, right? He's been scorching hot, or he's been a lot hotter since the middle of July. He wasn't necessarily that hitter the first couple months of the year. What's played out here over the last 6-7 weeks?
This is the tale of Julio Rodriguez. This happens every year. You can go back and you can find a line of demarcation almost every season. Now, maybe the rookie season for him is a little murkier in that regard. He got much better after the first month of the year, many years ago when he was just a 21-year-old. But for the last, call it maybe 3 seasons now, once it turns into July, once you start to flirt with the All-Star break, all of a sudden it's a completely different player. When you saw him last, everything was on the ground to third base. I mean, honestly, we would go, and I mean this sincerely, we would go weeks at a time, and you would not see Julio Rodriguez pull a ball in the air with authority. It didn't happen. And he gets a couple hundred at-bats under his belt. You start to get into the warmer months, and then it switches. The last 3 games before the All-Star break, he homered in all 3 games. And then he came out of the All-Star break, and he just picked up where he left off. And now he's the Julio Rodriguez that is on billboards and is marketed by Major League Baseball and is one of the most likable stars in the game. And he's hitting home runs to the second deck and stinging doubles the opposite way. I mean, this is not the time you want to face Julio Rodriguez. And that's a perennial thing, an annual thing for Julio.
Well, we're excited for this series. Again, both teams hopefully heading to the postseason here in 2025. A critical late August series in Seattle between the Padres and the Mariners. And Aaron, we appreciate you taking time for us. Be well. Have a good call this weekend. We'll do it again, all right?
Hey, it's always great talking to you guys. Should be a fun one. Thanks so much.
All right, that was from prior to last night's Game 1 between the Padres and the Mariners, where Cal Raleigh hit his 50th home run, by the way, of the season. 4 shy of equaling the most ever hit by a switch hitter in a season, 6 shy of equaling Ken Griffey Jr.'s franchise mark in a season of 56.
He's going to get it, right?
The franchise mark?
Yeah.
It seems like it. So he's 7 from setting it himself, 7 in the last month. Seems pretty realistic.
This is the greatest season from a catcher in baseball history, right?
Offensively. He's hitting 240 something, but the power has never been matched.
No.
You know?
Yeah. And he plays great defense behind the plate.
Yep.
He's a former Platinum Glove winner. So it's not just the power. Like, he's not just a one-dimensional player.
On cue, he's now moved to the favorite to win American League MVP in one day by hitting his 50th. He went from plus 135 to minus 120. So according to ESPN Bet, he's now the favorite, a slight favorite over Aaron Judge to win the AL MVP.
Good. I like that.
Makes sense.
It does make sense.
We were just talking about.
Yeah. And Aaron Judge has had a great season. But, you know, Cal Raleigh, what he's doing right now, he deserves.
I agree.
I think at this moment to win the MVP, unless Aaron Judge hits like 12 homers in the month of September and, you know, finishes the year with 50 plus homers again, and Cal Raleigh finishes with like 56 or 57. You know, if they're close, it probably will go to Judge. But at this moment in time, I think that Cal holds the edge here. And he's just an easy guy to root for. Like, obviously, you don't want to see him hit home runs against the Padres, but he's just like an easy guy to root for. The Big Dumper is the best nickname in sports.
Yeah, it is a great nickname, and he is a great hitter. I mean, watching him last night, I mean, the ball, the way it flies off his bat is really unbelievable. All right, we do have updates on Michael King and Jackson Merritt. We're going to share with you on the other side. Darnay Tripp joins us at 4:30. We have tickets to give away. Jonas Brothers coming up September 4th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll hear from Mike Schilt pregame as well. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Darnay Tripp, friend of the show. Jonas coming up at 4:30.
What was that?
I did the quotations.
Friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show, right? Still?
He's a friend of the show because we forced him to be a friend of the show.
Correct. It's like a necessary evil in his life that he has to join us every 15 work days.
Yeah, he can't escape us. We won't allow it to happen.
It's kind of his fault, though. Wasn't it his idea to do, remember the video thing we used to do with NBC? It was on camera, like the stream, the Roku channel.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Whose idea was that?
Wasn't mine, even though I was put in charge of it.
Darnay was, I'm pretty sure Darnay was like behind that.
I think it was. Maybe. The idea made sense. The execution, on the other hand.
Oh, yeah, that was your baby. You were like the executive director of that.
I don't want to talk about it. It gives me like it gives me like hives. You like think about it.
We need to ask him about that.
No, we don't.
If it was his idea.
I don't want to ask him
because I
about
need
that.
to know.
I wanted to forget that,
What
John.
was it called?
Sports Rap.
Which is like the name of his show.
Right.
All right, he's going to join us at 4:30. Here are some updates from Kevin Acee, okay? And maybe it's more from Mike Schill. But the plan for Michael King is another sim game or a minor league rehab start before making his return to the major leagues. So that means he's not starting at Target Field this weekend against the Twins. So now you do the math on that, and now you're well into...
Well, Kevin said Baltimore.
Okay, is that the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, September 1st, 2nd, 3rd series?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're into September, and at that point, you've got him making 4, maybe 5 starts.
Right.
That's what the math would suggest.
Yeah.
Which, again, if everything works out, you go from 70 pitches, 80. You can be in the 90s by the end of the year, but that'll be huge, those 4 or 5 starts.
Yeah, they can't mess up this rehab. He can't mess up this rehab because this is it. Before the postseason, you got to get at least, I would say, 3 starts under your belt, 3, 4 starts.
Absolutely.
To get, revved up for the postseason. And if he has another hiccup and another setback, like if he goes out there and pitches again and is like, actually my knee's not right again, he goes back on the IL.
Well, then the season's
then you can't count on Michael King.
You can't. Well, let me ask you this: can you count on him? Let's say he goes out there, makes 5 starts, and the first one is 4 innings, and the second one is 5 innings, and the last 2-ish are 5 to 6 innings for Michael King. And let's just say the numbers are good, right? Like they're good, but they're not like he's not gonna have a 1-1 in those 5 starts. But he's got a 3.29 in those 5 starts. Is very good. Are you fully trustworthy? And he's your lead horse into the postseason?
Well, your lead horse into the postseason is Nick Pivetta.
Your secondary lead horse?
If those are the exact numbers that he has and he has 4 or 5 starts under his belt in September, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're going to have to trust him and you're going to have to almost give him benefit of doubt.
Yep.
Because he's not going to have thrown like, man, he had like 3 straight 7-inning outings. That's not happening.
Yeah. By the way, if this thing ends up where the Padres are the 5 seed and they go on the road, Dylan Cease cannot pitch on the road for the Padres.
So not active.
Well, in the wild card round, yes.
Tell him.
Sorry.
We'll see you next week.
You have Pivetta, King, and Darvish. Or you can do it Pivetta, Darvish, King.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go King, Pivetta, Darvish. Whatever you want to do there.
Well, what are you going to do then next round if they then are playing in Milwaukee? Also not pitch, Cease?
Well,
because now you've used the 2 guys.
You don't have a choice.
Exactly. At some point, he's going to have to pitch.
But at least it's a 5-game series, not a 3-game series. 3-game series, game 1's everything.
Yep.
5-game series, you can lose game 1 and still win the series.
Sure, they proved it in 2022.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, those are just kind of little things that, we'll get to talk more about as the season comes closer to an end and we get to the postseason. But as far as Michael King goes, I'm a little worried. Are you? I'm just I'm not worried that he's going to not return. I'm just worried about what he'll look like and if he's going to be close to the Michael King he was before he went back on the IL.
That's my worry. Is Michael King 2024 Michael King or not? And if he's not, it's a big problem. And the thing with not pitching Dylan Cease on the road in that first series, and I agree with your point, but what if the other options haven't been better than Cease? What if Darvish in September is up and down? What if King in September is up and down? Very possible, by the way.
Very possible, but what would you rather have in a decisive game 3? You Darvish on the mound or Dylan Cease on the mound?
Yeah, it's a good point. No, it's certainly you're going to have to make that decision. Yeah.
Or maybe they And look, this is all postseason conversation, obviously, but say you win game 1, maybe then you pitch Darvish or Cease game 2, and then you have King ready for game 3 if you're ready to go there.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
You can do that. If you lose game 1, then you have King go game 2. Like, you don't have to have everything set in stone before the series start. You can change things up.
You can always pitch Musgrove one of those games.
He'll be ready out of the bullpen for the World Series.
Bullpen?
Yeah, you didn't know.
He's starting one of those games.
He's starting game 1 of the World Series.
He might be starting in September if it was up to him.
Well, they're not getting the World Series if they don't play good baseball, and they got to start playing better baseball tonight. The Dodgers play the Reds.
No, but you made the point at the end. You're right, but not really though.
I know, but look, their path
is easier by winning the division
or a 4 seed.
Easier than a 5 seed. Yes.
Now the division right now, Philly leads the Dodgers here as far as the 2 seed goes. They're 2 back in the loss column. The Dodgers are from the Phillies.
So the Padres are 3 back in the loss column?
The Padres are 3 back in the loss column from the Phillies.
Okay.
All right. So the 2 seed's not out of play.
No, but there's some work.
There's some work there. It's not the Milwaukee's going to win or get the number 1 seed unless something happens. I mean, they're 5 up in the loss column there on Philly.
And how many on San Diego? 8, right?
8.
Yeah.
And then 7 up. And they play the Padres 3 times in the end of September. So we'll see.
Maybe you never say never.
But, if you're looking at how things are going to shape out here, the first goal is to win the division. Next goal is make sure that if you don't win the division, you get the 4 seed. If you get the 5 seed, then that's not going to feel very good if you're a Padres fan, because you got to go travel to Chicago.
And you just stay there if you win because you're playing Milwaukee.
Right.
Like that's what you're talking about 4 or 5 consecutive games on the road. If you're fortunate enough to win that wild card series.
Right.
All right, we have an update on Jackson Merrill on the other side. Darnay Triple join us at 4:30. We've got Jonas Brothers tickets to give away. We're here until 6. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by Toyota Poway in the heart of San Diego. Padres and Mariners, game 2 of their 3-game series tonight in Seattle. 6:40 first pitch. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Padres are now a game back of the Dodgers in the National League West with the loss last night and the Dodgers win over the Reds. And tonight is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener on Thursday at Snapdragon Stadium. Listen tonight at 6 p.m. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. There's no better time to buy now during the Labor Day sales event only at Toyota of Poway in the heart of San Diego.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I think a lineup is out because they've posted a lineup. That was the giveaway, that they posted the lineup online. So the lineup is out.
Oh, you know what? Dude.
Yeah.
We have completely buried the lead.
Which is what?
We're an hour and a half in. We haven't mentioned that the Padres lost the Vetter Cup last night.
Oh, that's true.
What are we doing?
The thing is, I kind of forgot that it existed, whether they won or lost.
I'm actually happy that I forgot it existed because it was the dumbest thing ever. Now it's good for like charity reasons, but the way that it was being hyped up as like this huge thing, it just fell flat on its face.
I don't like things being forced on like a fan base. So like there was the UCF UConn rivalry called the Civil Conflict. Like, give me a break. Okay. UConn and UCF don't have a rivalry, just like San Diego and Seattle don't have a rivalry. There's no rivalry. There's no rivalry. So I don't get it. I don't know who cares. Does the Padres, or excuse me, is the Mariners clubhouse celebrating this?
Where does the guitar go? Because I know the guitar looks pretty cool.
I guess it goes in Seattle's ballpark.
My guess is the only person or one of the only people that actually is upset about not winning that guitar in the Vetter Cup has to be Eric Krupner.
You love saying that. Was it his idea to have the Vetter Cup?
Well, I'm sure he was a big part of like how the whole thing came to pass here. Yeah.
You think?
Absolutely. A marketing opportunity that Eric Krupner's not involved with, something that doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah, dude. He is all for it.
Yeah, I'm sure he was all for it. I think the Padres have had some pretty good marketing ideas.
They've had great marketing ideas.
I would not include among them.
No, this is awful.
If this was the Padres' idea.
Now, again, if the Padres won the Vetter Cup, it's the greatest thing on the planet. But since they lost it, it doesn't matter.
I know. And truthfully, and I would have said the same thing if they won this thing. I'd be like, this has
I'm
no
just
relevance.
disappointed that we're not going to all the tiebreakers.
No more EV tiebreakers, no more run differential. It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could still lose the Vetter Cup and win the World Series.
Can you though?
But you could win the Vetter Cup and not win the World Series.
You asked a question last night. What would you rather have, a Vetter Cup or a World Series?
It's an easy answer.
I mean, you have to think about it. It's probably the Vetter Cup.
It's an easy answer. I agree. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Do I need it for the rest of time? Do we need the Mariners-Padres series determined by a trophy for the next 75 years?
Like they're going to just pass back and forth this guitar?
Like it doesn't.
Like the Stanley Cup.
Who wins a regular season series is kind of inconsequential. Did anyone look back on the 2014 Giants and be like, you know what, though? Man, what they did against the Angels that year, I think they dropped 2 out of 3 interleague play. That was tough. I mean, nobody cares about individual head-to-head regular season series, maybe rivalry series, maybe Giants, Dodgers, Padres, regular season series matter. But like, does anyone know if the Padres won the series last year against the Baltimore Orioles?
No.
Exactly.
But the Giants had a Bay Bridge series between them and the A's.
That's an actual legitimate thing.
Now it's not a thing anymore because the A's
left.
Are gonzo.
But like I can make it. That's why I don't like things that are forced. There's nothing forced about Oakland and San Francisco having separate franchises in the same sport and animosity being created. Yeah. There's nothing forced about the Mets and the Yankees being an actual thing.
And by the way, that Bay Bridge series came from the 1989 World Series when they met. The A's and the Giants met in the World Series. It was the Earthquake Series, but it was dubbed the Bay Bridge World Series.
But even without that,
I know.
You don't have to sell me on A's Giants. You wouldn't have had to sell me back in the day on Raiders Niners.
I know.
You can't do this is the point. There's no reason. There's no logical explanation. Give me one reason the Mariners and Padres should be tied together because they share a spring training complex.
Yeah, John.
What is the other reason to tie these two? As in, why wouldn't you just do it with the Angels? I'll tell you why. Because the Angels have the Dodgers.
Correct.
So that's why.
Anyway,
do you want it to go down that path?
I just thought that, we should have mentioned it off the top and we didn't. Honestly.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't put it in your updates.
I'm surprised too.
All right.
I apologize to everyone out there that was waiting for an update on the Vetter Cup.
I agree with you. Fernando Tatis Jr. leads on. And this is the same thing we've seen. Tatis, Arise, Machado, Ahern, Bogart, Sheets, Laureano, Cronenworth, Fermin. Padres hit 4 home runs yesterday. They've done it now, twice in the last 10 days, hitting 4 home runs in a game. Their runs per game is way up here since the deadline, by the way. That didn't result in a win yesterday, but their offense has been vastly improved. What we also have barely touched on, although we did mention it, is Tatis. Like, he actually did it. The ball went over the wall in fair territory, and it counts as a run.
Which was kind of incredible. I'm actually upset because I didn't watch it live. I was listening to it.
I was putting Jones to sleep.
I texted you. I no joke, because I was on my way home and I was almost home, and I pulled to the side of the road because I wanted to text you, and then I tweeted out something, but it was like a stop. Where were you at moment? Like, oh my gosh, Tatis just hit a home run. Like the ball,
insane.
The ball that he hit,
insane,
actually went over the fence. I had to immediately go to social media to watch it because
he
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I mean, what was the distance on that?
It wasn't a cheapie.
No, it was not a cheapie. Straight away, not just over the wall. That thing had some carry on it.
And he had a pretty nice little bat flip, or not even a bat flip. It was like a bat drop.
Did like a very small stutter near third.
I forgot he did a stutter because it's been forever since he did a home run. The exit velo on that thing. Let me just look this up right here. Okay, so it was 109.8 off the bat.
Wow.
416 feet.
All right, so he got that thing. I guess the question now is, does it mean anything for him moving forward? Is it some semblance of now begins a period of time where he builds off that or not? But I will say, 4 home runs, loaded the bases in the 8th. They fell behind 9-4. They made it a game. Laureano represented the tying run in the 8th inning before striking out. They had the tying run at the plate in the 9th inning because of an error in that inning and ended up losing 9-6. So offensively, I'm not really pinning it on the offense after last night. That's for sure.
I'm not pinning it on the offense either, but you could also pin it on the offense if you want. They went 0 for 6 last night with runners in scoring position. You pointed this stat out to me last night. We actually figured this out. They're 0 for 27 this year against the Mariners with runners in scoring position. Yeah. 0 for 27 this season.
Which is 0 for a game because there's 27 outs in a game.
Right. They've been perfect gamed when it comes to runners in scoring position this year against the Mariners.
True. But don't you agree that 6 runs, you say, I'll just take it. Whatever happens.
I agree. But you also have to look at the game last night. That was a game the Padres rarely play.
Correct.
They don't play the slugfest.
Correct.
They don't say, you know what, we're going to outslug you and we're just going to hit more home runs than you. No, that's the Mariners game.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Mariners type of game last night. Wasn't the Padres. Mike Schultz said as such. They win with their pitching and their defense and timely hitting and small ball and sack bunts and sack flies. It's great to win a game with 4 home runs. They did it last week against the Giants. Giants are an awful team, though. Mariners are not. So when you get to the postseason, if you're going up against the Phillies, right, or the Dodgers again, and if both of those teams aren't held in check and they hit some bombs, the likelihood of you keeping up with them,
I agree with that.
It's kind of low.
It's like you'd almost prefer, if someone told me right now, well, the Padres hit 4 home runs, but so does their opponent, or neither of the teams are hitting home runs. I'm like, give me the neither.
Yep.
Because they'll figure, you know what they'll do? They'll small ball you to death. And they're good at moving runners. They've been good enough situationally. They can run a little bit. They can play good defense. They can sit on small leads. That is more the way they win than, hey, we hit 4 home runs, but we allowed 4. Maybe we can find a way. No, that's a hard game to play.
Because you know what happens with teams that are home run hitting teams that in a series don't hit home runs? They start pressing.
Yeah, they don't know how to win.
And they don't know what to do.
Yep.
So you're set up to play a series come October where you're, like you said, if there are no home runs in the series, I think advantage Padres.
Yeah.
But if you're looking up and it's like both team, one team has 8 home runs, the other team has 4 home runs, it's like, I don't know about that one.
It's like the Mariners aren't going to bunt Cal Raleigh. The Padres are going to bunt Fernando Tatis Jr. Like whole squad. It's so crazy. Like they're content with some of their better hitters to just move the line.
Like, oh, Tatis got a walk. That's great for us.
That's great.
I think for other teams, it's like, oh, Schwarber got a walk. That's bad for us.
Yeah, he didn't homer.
Because he didn't homer. He didn't have an opportunity to hit one out of the ballpark.
It is interesting how last night you hit 4 home runs and you trail 9-4 at one point. You know what I mean? Like they seemingly weren't in it after the David Morgan inning. And it's going to be interesting these next 2 days. It really is. They've hit right-handed pitching relatively well. I'm talking about the Padres. But you look at the quality of pitcher, and they're good. Luis Castillo and Brian Wu are both effective right-handed pitchers, where the onus now turns to Dylan Cease and Yu Darvish, who have been roller coasters, highs and lows. Dylan Cease and Yu Darvish. You said Dylan Cease on the road. That's tonight.
He's over this year on the road.
What are his? Do you know what the ERA splits are? Yeah, the win and loss doesn't matter as much to me. I'm just curious about the ERA.
Yeah, I can get you for you. So away games, a 5.65 ERA.
Wow.
0-8 in 13 starts. He's 6-3 at home with a 3.86.
Wow.
So his home road splits are kind of incredible.
Yeah, you can't pitch this guy on the road in the postseason. To your point,
no,
that's unbelievable.
It's weird. He's allowed more homers at Petco Park than he has on the road.
Interesting.
But he also pitched 7 more innings on the road or at home. Excuse me. But still,
well, needless to say, I mean,
0-8 with a 5.65 ERA on the road. Yucky.
Means, needless to say, massive start for Dylan Cease here tonight in Seattle. All right, that Jackson Merrill update, we'll have it for you on the other side during a trip at 4:30. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, donate trip at 4:30. Jonas Brothers tickets. We'll give those away next hour. We'll hear from Mike Schilt pregame. All right, here are the 162 games the Padres will play next year.
Which one is your favorite series and most anticipated matchup next season, John?
Can I tell you, maybe I'm getting older here, but I cannot deal with opening day being Thursday, March 26th. Like, we're pushing. I mean, it was March 30th. Then it was March 29th. This year it was like March 28th.
When does the season end?
It should end in like August based on that. It ends September 27th. The reason they're doing that,
to push the postseason up,
I guess a day or two.
To start October 1st, maybe, or September 31st.
Starting this year, October 1st. I don't know what it is. It's with the wild card. The October's become longer.
Yeah,
So I mean, you're playing like Cubs games on March 26th or like Phillies games. It's cold. Anyway, the Padres next year open at home against, of course, the Detroit Tigers.
Oh,
but
perfect.
Look, can I have to be like, what is this? You play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you're off Sunday. The first weekend of the year.
Makes no sense.
Then you host the Giants because they have to host the Giants the first homestand. There's like a rule.
Always.
In like the umpire manual, they have to host the Giants the first week of the year.
Mm-hmm.
The one interesting part, seriously, of next year is, well, it hasn't been announced, they are expected to go back to Mexico City at the end of April for a 2-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Of course, they were in Mexico City a couple of years ago. They've traveled internationally a good amount over the last decade, truthfully. So it's the same thing. It's universal. So you play everyone, including the Dodgers, for 4 series. But yeah, they'll get underway March 26th against the Detroit Tigers.
With Tariq Skubal on the mound.
Correct. That's exactly right.
So if y'all were upset about Mike Schilt's lineups against lefties now, just get ready for March 26th of 2026 when Tariq Skubal's on the mound and they have Jose Iglesias in there instead of whoever.
That's exactly right. By the way, here's one thing I do like. The second to last series of the year is against the Dodgers.
But it's at Dodger Stadium.
But I just like that they meet.
No, they did it last year. The second to last series of the season was at Dodger Stadium.
So you're saying it should be here based on that?
I would like that the final 3 games of the regular season be against the Dodgers, whether it be here or it's up there. Right? Wouldn't you want that? I mean, that's kind of how, 2010, if you remember, when the Padres, now I don't think anybody thought the Padres were going to be in the division race in 2010.
Right.
It kind of just happened because their pitching was incredible. Talk about a team that really banked on their pitching to win games. Hell, that team was a very hard watch offensively, very hard. But, they met the Giants at the end of the year for a 3-game series to decide the division.
Yeah, it's that's unique.
I can't remember the last time the Padres ended their season against the Dodgers. Like the final 3 games of the year against the Dodgers. Probably been a while.
Well, here's the thing too. There's so much more in the line in 2010. Because the way the postseason has trended now, where teams that don't win the division are just in the postseason.
Right. That was for a spot in the postseason, and the loser was out.
Right. Exactly. So, it's just different now. But I'm with you. It'd be nice to see the Padres and Dodgers finish a year. And by the way, the Padres and Dodgers don't meet until when? May at Petco is the first meeting next year between the Padres and the Dodgers. This year was June.
So earlier than this year?
They're meeting earlier in 2026. They're also meeting later because they'll have the second to last series against the Dodgers.
What's your most anticipated series?
Well, I've circled that.
Other than the Dodgers.
I've circled that road series at Cleveland in mid-August.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually have circled that Yankees series in September to start the month.
At home.
That's a big series there.
You guys are all wrong. When's next year's Vetter Cup?
Oh, good point.
Oh, okay. So they do play Seattle in April 14th through the 16th at home. Revenge of the Vetter Cup.
Well, then it's over in May because they go to Seattle in May.
Good. We can get this over with early.
So we'll know a winner by May 17th.
Okay.
Of the Vetter Cup. If it exists.
Right.
If they keep it for year number 2, we'll know the winner. I like the Mexico City thing. I like the international games.
When this is weird. I'm trying to look to see what like their longest homestand is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find anything longer than 9 games.
Yep, that's where it is in May, right?
In May,
yep.
Dodgers, A's, Phillies, and I'm trying to look to see what their longest road trip is.
In June 9, Baltimore, St. Louis, Texas.
What about after the All-Star break? They usually have like a 10 gamer.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Gamer.
You're right. Kansas City, Atlanta, Miami.
So they have a 9 game. They have 2 9. Well, there's 1, 2, 3 9 game plus road trips. And then they have a 9 game homestand. And then the longest after that is like, what? 6, 7? That's kind of weird.
Like I said, if you're going to win a World Series, got to do it now.
Yeah.
With that schedule.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm not doing the deep
We'll worry
dive.
about next year.
Yeah, I haven't done the deep dive yet. All right, the latest on Jackson Merrill, according to Kevin Acee, and I think Mike Schill basically shared this yesterday, was there is an expectation he could return this upcoming weekend in Minnesota. So again, Jackson Merrill, who has been on the IL, dealing with that ankle. It's his 3rd stint on the IL. And according to Kevin, the Padres expect Merrill to return during the series against the Twins this weekend. So whether that means Saturday or Sunday, he'll be back, it looks like, Jim, for the stretch run. You're going to see him in the lineup, obviously, each and every day, and he'll have about 20 or so games to, quote-unquote, get right before the postseason starts.
The team needs Jackson Merrill back. They need to be at full strength. But I could also make an argument that with Jackson Merrill on the IL right now, they're not missing much. Like, I don't want to be that harsh, but just look at the numbers, and Jackson Merrill's not had a good season. It's, I think, a lot to do with his start-stop type of year, right? He started out red hot, and then boom, IL with a hamstring injury that kept him on the IL for a month, when originally it was just a couple-day thing, right? Then he gets hit in the head by a baseball, gets concussed, goes on the concussion IL. It wasn't his fault. And then the ankle twist at Dodger Stadium, gets that, then tries to play on it the next day, probably doesn't help his cause to get it better quicker. And then he goes back on the IL, all equaling what his year has been, which has been a pretty significant drop in production compared to last year.
I agree with what you're saying. The reason, here's the thing. I think you got to hope that he can look like he has looked at times, whether it's this year early or certainly last year late, because it goes back to the point of like, what gives you the best chance to win at a high level? He's going to be in there.
Yeah, they're not going to have him on the bench.
Yeah, so he's going to be in there. So knowing that he's going to be playing essentially every day, and by essentially, I mean every day, when he's healthy, you're hoping he can find his footing. You know, he had this amazing start to his season, and then he got hurt. He had that terrific finish to last year. He was an integral part of the 2024 team. I don't know how realistic it is. It goes back to the Michael King thing. Is it realistic that Michael King in 2025's postseason looks like he pitched in 2024 when he's had these health issues? I don't know if it is or not, but I know this. Michael King's a big part of them winning the postseason. I think Jackson Merrill could be a big part of it as well, potentially for this lineup, since he's going to be in there each and every day.
Because right now, when Jackson Merrill gets back, you're going to have to sit one of these 3 guys. Ramon Laureano, Gavin Sheets, or Ryan O'Hearn.
Right. It's going to be Sheets, I would guess. Laureano is playing every day. There'll be a riot, right?
Yep.
If he doesn't.
I agree.
O'Hearn, there was a mini riot already.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheets, less of a riot, although there's going to be some displeasure potentially with him not playing.
Sheets in the last 15 games, John. Now, it's not a big, number of at-bats, but still, 38 at-bats in the last 15 games.
Okay.
He's hitting 316. He has a 763 slug with 4 home runs and 7 RBIs. You're going to sit that.
How do you sit that? It's a great point.
We all know Jackson Merrill's going to be in there every day. Mike Schild is not going to budge with this lineup. He is as stubborn as it gets with his guys.
I don't think it's stubbornness with Merrill. They just signed him to a $100 million deal.
I agree, but with Jackson Merrill out of this lineup and Gavin Sheets in it to replace him, is it a better lineup?
Yeah, it's a better lineup. But again, Mike, it's almost like with Merrill, that's what I would say. Mm-hmm. There's no way he's even given the opportunity to not play him.
I know.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, he's an everyday player.
Your 22-year-old's going to be coming off the bench.
No, I know.
After just signing that deal. Your point's right. I think both things are right. Like Sheets gives you a better chance to hit for power right now. But Merrill's your chosen one in the future of the franchise. He's going to play every day.
And what they won't do is what they should do, which is once Merrill gets back, you put him in the lineup. And because Gavin Sheets has been so good for you and he provides something that you desperately need, which is pop in that lineup, guess who goes to the bench against righties? Against lefties.
Against lefties?
Or against righties. Luis Ariz, man. But he won't do it. It won't happen. The lineup is significantly worse off when you have Ariz and Merrill in it compared to if you would have Merrill and Sheets and O'Hearn in it.
And especially against left-handed pitching.
Oh, my gosh.
We gave you Merrill has really struggled against left-handed pitching, and Ariz has really struggled against left-handed pitching. All right, we'll get to the wrap on the other side. Darn A Triple Jonas coming up at 4:30. Jonas Brothers tickets, we'll give those away coming up as well. We're with you for the next 2 hours until 6 p.m. on John and Jim. Stay with us.
I'll be right back to you. Is that them?
Yeah, one shirt is the one that was making all the fun.
Okay.
Yeah, there they are, right up there.
One 600. 28-29 Alabama.
This update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Padres Mariners, game 2 of their 3-game series in Seattle tonight, 6:40. First pitch. Dylan Cease, who is 0-8 on the road this season, will start tonight for the Padres. Padres, of course, are back in second place, trailing the Dodgers by a game in the National League West. And tonight at 6 p.m. is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener on Thursday at Snapdragon Stadium versus Stony Brook. Staples has school supplies as low as 25 cents. Your back-to-school budget saved by the easy button. The easy button. What did you think I was going to say? Love me some Staples. That was easy.
Previously on John and Jim.
It's not like Judge is doing something beyond judging, so to speak. He's being judged, but it's not even the best season of Judge's career, so I got to give it to Cal Raleigh because of that.
Look at Judge's career. I mean, this is a damn good season. Judge has had 2 better seasons than this. Last year, 58 and 144, 36 doubles. Like, that's an MVP season. If Judge ends the year with, say, 47 home runs and Cal Raleigh ends the year with 58, 59 home runs, especially at the position that he's playing, catcher, it's a premium position.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have to look at that and it be the deciding factor here.
Now, live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of John and Jim. We have Darnay Tripp joining us in 30 minutes. He has texted us, Jim, and said that it was not his idea. Sports rap. So he is not taking ownership. He says, and it wasn't my idea.
Well, the reason why he says that is because he doesn't want to get blamed for it.
I'm trying. Do you remember those days? You say you've blacked it out.
Correct. I completely blacked it out. I don't remember.
You don't remember how it got
I don't want to
started?
remember.
You were like the star of
It's a
that.
repressed memory.
You were too.
But you were like directing and
I was.
played a critical role.
Okay. You want me to take you behind the curtain here?
Yeah.
All right. That thing was, it just, everything was made way harder than it needed to be. And it just didn't work. Am I wrong?
I don't remember.
I mean, we have this camera in here still that's, I think, hooked up to NBC7. I think they can watch us. They might be able to hear us.
They pick up our audio.
Like, we just have this camera there. Now, luckily for our YouTube show, John and Jim, we do have some really nice lights up there that are great for the show.
True.
So maybe, it wasn't all for waste, but
It was a good idea.
it's a great idea.
The concept of let's talk about the daily sports topics with like Darren at the time, Darnay from NBC7, me and you. I think Derek Togerson was involved a few times. I think we fought over something.
Oh yeah,
you
guys fought.
What was the big fight about?
It was Padres related, and I forget.
Derek, do you remember? I think Derek's listening.
I forget. Yeah, Derek, if you remember, please text us.
I forget what it was, but the idea was good.
The idea was good. Execution?
It's like everything in life.
A whole other story.
Yeah, it's like I've got a lot of good ideas, and then like you try to execute on them, and
Right.
they end up not being as good.
Maybe don't have it at the start of every show. Just saying.
Oh, is that? Oh, it was the start of every show for us. You're right. All right.
Anyway,
Darnay's going to join us coming up at 4:30. We have Jonas Brothers tickets to give away as well. That'll be later this hour. We'll hear from Mike Schilt in Seattle as he prepares for game 2 of the 3-game set between the Padres and the Mariners. And right now, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
I think you guys argued about whether or not someplace was a good destination for a coach. There's something like that, if I remember right.
Destination. I don't remember that.
again, I had it. I blacked
Like there
it
was a
out.
job opening for a team,
Oh.
and you thought it was a good job opening, and he thought it wasn't. If my memory serves me correct.
Pull up the audio. Just kidding. All right, let's get to the wrap.
I burned the audio.
Will Jaden Denago throw more or less than 20 touchdown passes this year?
I'm gonna go with less, but just slightly. Like I think he can throw 18, 19 touchdowns, home runs. Baseball. I think he throws. I think he can throw.
It's like, you know what?
It's a new strategy.
My arm is unbelievable. Just throw it over like the left field wall. It's like 330.
So I should have told Tatis he could have done this months ago.
He'd have 70 right now.
I think he can throw 18 home runs this year. Oh my gosh. I think he could throw 18, 19 touchdown passes this season. 20.
It's a big number in college.
It's a big number. How many did Danny O'Neal throw last year? Like 12?
12. He missed a start at Cal. He was hurt, and he may have missed a half in one of the. As in, he didn't play all 12 games.
Yeah. I do think that Jaden Denigal could have, like, just tell me if this is a good season, and I know you'll say yes, but like 18 touchdown passes and like 9 rushing touchdowns.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Because he's going to use his legs a lot.
Right.
And they're going to probably want to try to run the ball a lot. And down the red zone,
just tush push?
Not tush push, but, you got the option there. And Jaden Denigal can get out on the outside edge, and he can run.
Let me ask you this. This might be getting the weeds, but they have another terrific athletic quarterback in Bert Emanuel Jr.
Might take away some
Is Bert
opportunities.
Emanuel Jr. at a goal line option, second and goal from the 3, third and goal from the 2?
Well, Jaden Denigal is, I want to say he's bigger than Bert Emanuel Jr. Like, size-wise.
They're both big.
Jaden is taller than Bert. Like, watching them at FanFest, you could tell, like, there's a size difference there. Not probably like a huge size difference, but as far as like height goes.
Okay, so Jaden Denigal is 6'4", 6'5", 235. And Bert Emanuel is listed at 6'3", 235. So, yeah, he's taller than him.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question we were asking?
I mean, touchdown patches will he throw?
I guess I'm just basing it on Bert Emanuel's career. He's been an excellent running threat. In fact, he has run for, how about this, 12 career touchdowns in college, Bert Emanuel Jr. That's a big number. So I think my point is I think he'll be involved in the offense. I wonder if he has some opportunities near the goal line or not. 20 touchdowns for me, I think it's possible. I really do. I think it's possible. I don't think it's crazy to think that he could have 20 touchdown passes this year. Next question.
How many home runs will Cal Raleigh throw for this year?
I'm going to go with 58.
You think he's hitting at least 50?
We already hit 50.
You think 8 more?
58. Hope I'm wrong because I want to see him hit more than that. But I think to break the record for most home runs hit in franchise history, which is Griffey at 56, to break the record of most home runs hit by a switch hitter, obviously already has the most home runs for a catcher in the history of the sport.
Yeah, I think that's a good number. I'll go one higher. I'll say 59.
I'll go 60 then.
I'll go 61. What's the American League record? Do we decide?
62.
62
by Judge.
I mean, there's an outside shot of it. It would be crazy, but yeah, I think 58, 59 is realistic now.
I'll go 74.
Now would be a big finish.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh. Next question.
Will Shedeur Sanders start a game for the Browns in 2025?
You saw he's listed as the number 3.
Only if a bunch of injuries happen ahead of him, or if Flacco and Gabriel just suck.
Well, that's going to happen.
One of them. Look, Joe Flacco will not be the starting quarterback for the entire season for the Browns.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel will get out there and make some starts. Now, if Dylan Gabriel goes out there and he starts playing well, Shedeur Sanders has no shot. Like, they're not going to do any type of, you have the last name of Sanders? Like, we're going to put you out there. Like, no, they're going to put the best quarterback out there. And if anything is an indicator for maybe how well these two could play, or how these two might look in a regular season game, just go to their third preseason game. Shedeur Sanders was awful. He got sacked 5 times. He did not look good in the pocket. He looked exactly like he looked in college with Colorado. And that's probably a big reason why he dropped as far as he did. Like, his pocket awareness, not good at all. Dylan Gabriel, on the other hand, looked much more comfortable in the pocket, stepping up, making the right reads, right throws. Just like, I think far ahead of where Shedeur Sanders is right now as far as quarterback development goes.
Where does Deshaun Watson enter this conversation? Because he's on the PUP list to start the year, but can be activated later in the year.
Again, that's the weirdest quarterback group ever.
It's the weirdest thing ever, but I also wonder, like, if Deshaun Watson is healthy in the second half of the year, I mean, isn't he getting back on the football field?
I don't know the particulars, but like, What's the reason why they're just not cutting him? Is because of all that money?
Oh, you're saying Shador?
No. Talking about Sean Watson.
Oh yeah, I guess because they're just so far vested in him, right? You're just gonna. It's just over. Cut ties. Or are they gonna wait for him to get healthy and he's gonna start for them in 2026?
I don't know why they haven't cut ties with him already.
Interesting, yeah.
But I think it has to do with all the money they have to eat. Like that dead money, if they cut him, it's the worst contract in the history of the sport.
He's 29. He's 29 years old. I mean, you give him another shot a year from now or not? I don't know. Next question.
Is Fernando back?
Is he back, Jim?
I mean, he went 1 for 5 last night.
Right.
He's back.
Homered.
Hit 4 home runs in 8 games. Then we can start talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened a lot this year. Start, stop. Oh, he's back. And then he goes into another slump. It's like, oh, he's back. And he just only walks.
Have we even truly said since like May that he's back?
No.
We've maybe entertained the question. Like,
it's just nice to see him finally get a home run. But the only way that I'll entertain the he's back conversation truly is if he puts together a month of September where he hits 7 or 8 home runs, and then you get into October and he hits 4 or 5, and you're like, wow, all right, there we go.
Yeah, no, unfortunately he's not back because it's going to have to be seen with all of our eyes. You know, he's going to have to do it for a period of time. I mean, shoot, I went down the path of Xander Bogaerts. Is he back? And the answer is no.
Yeah, what has he done lately? That's been a quiet talking point.
He hasn't, like, honestly, let's look that up. You love the last 15 game. It's not like the wheels have completely fallen off, right?
The last 30 games, Johnny's hit 243 with a 280 on base and a 409 slug.
Okay, so maybe they have fallen off. Maybe they've fallen off.
What was it?
Toot that horn.
What was it? Told you so? Who people out there were like, oh, told you so about Xander? Like he was going to heat up? Like, no. What was the saying?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I tried to tell y'all what? I tried to tell y'all.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long year, man.
It's a long year, and Xander Bogaerts is not a good player anymore. He's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has moments, right? But over the course of a season, he cannot put together a full season. It's just, I don't think it's ever going to happen again.
Why would you say that? I'm kidding. All right, Darnay Tripp is going to join us at 4. What do you got, Brian?
I looked it up. The Browns, if they just would cut Watson, they would have a dead cap hit of over $100 million.
So that's probably why.
No way. They'll just leave him sit on the bench for that.
What is the deal with their franchise? Seriously. All right, Darnay Tripp, NBC 7 at 4:30. We'll give away these Jonas Brothers tickets later this hour. We're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up as the Padres prepare for the Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game series. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we all remember that one teacher who made a difference, believed in us, challenged us, made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank You Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom for whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day, Marcos Merlos, who teaches at Rosa Parks Elementary. People told us is very dedicated to his fifth graders in an economically disadvantaged community, always looking to motivate and inspire his students. Congrats to Marcos. You're in the running to win $5,000 for your classroom. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. What's Don do? There you go.
The paper snap. Let me see that.
Walk off for broadcasters.
Let's see. Wait, see if I can do it. Okay.
You could do it. You just can't do the read.
Well, I can do the read.
Anyone can do a bat flip.
There we go.
Do the read.
That's a good one.
Do that
That's a
read.
good one. All right.
Whole thing. Floor's yours. I'm turning my mic off.
Hold on.
Or do one of the other ones that he didn't.
Oh, no,
read.
do it.
Well, which one is it?
No,
Is
no,
it
no.
this
The
one?
teacher. The teacher read.
This one, the
do that.
419 one?
Yeah.
All right. We all, dude, I can't do, I can do it. You're just laughing. It's going to make me laugh. All right. We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now you're, I can't do this with you over here, making me laugh like this.
That's what I'm saying. But Toddy's got to hit under the bright lights.
All right, here we go. Ready? Fine. We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day is Marcos Merlos, who teaches at Rosa Parks Elementary School in San Diego, and who people told us very dedicated. Wait, what? And who people told us very dedicated. Dude, this isn't even written right, bro.
And it's called an ad lib. You got to like put the is in.
You can't do a read. It's not written right.
Mahomes drops back. Things are happening. You think it's just an easy throw for the middle.
I'm not getting rushed by freaking Micah Parsons over here. It literally says, and who people told us very dedicated.
Dude,
what is this, dude?
I've been reading it for a month.
How?
Exactly. That's why I did this. I felt like it was earned.
You're like, I did it. I got through that.
Oh my gosh. Where are we? Where were we?
I have no idea, dude.
Like,
you went the paper snap route, and I was like, let me try that.
Okay. Darnay will join us in about 8 minutes. All right.
It's not even English. We're talking about teachers and the thing's not even written right.
Do you have the show laugh?
You just played it.
I couldn't do it. Thank you. Somehow I missed that. Oh. Seriously. Where do we start with Darnay? I mean, other than all the
Why are
BS.
you friends with us?
No, forget the BS. Where do you start with the Padres with Darnay? If everything is serious right now, where would you start? Division?
Yeah, division.
Health?
I mean, their health isn't that bad. I mean, look, you want Michael King and Jackson Merrill.
They just want like their two best players. No, they're not, but two of their better players.
I can't concentrate.
Seattle problem?
Who cares about Seattle?
Well, you should care the next 2 days.
I mean, the only time you care
just told me they have to go. If they win the next two, I'm like, well, that's a big if.
I know it is. I'm just talking about like the future. The next time you face Seattle will be in the World Series. We'd all take that, right?
Can you imagine that?
Dude.
I can't deal with those promos if they then Vetter cupped us up.
Oh my God.
And they're showing that guitar constantly. And like Seattle got in the regular season. Could the Padres get revenge? Like nobody cares about the regular season of the World Series, do they?
You know what I'm just thinking about? Because my head is all over the place. I can't wait to go back and watch me read that read and then get to the part where it makes no sense.
Like Brett made a good point though. In live television, in live radio, we can talk to Darnay about this. The teleprompter might go down.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When you're bound to read the teleprompter if it's not like English, you're like, wait, what?
Right.
You're going to mess up, dude.
I will say this real quick.
Unless you read it
Burgundy.
beforehand 100 times.
I will say this. I think TV teleprompter work
Oh, it's so difficult.
is way harder than what we do.
Way
Now we
harder.
fill time.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the challenge.
We don't have to be perfect with filling
No,
time.
in fact, we have proven that.
Yes, we
do
have.
not have to be perfect. You could frankly be bad at it. But like, isn't it one of your greatest fears that you don't have a teleprompter and you're doing like a 3-minute sports cast and they're like showing highlights? I'm like, what is
Like
this?
ad-lib this?
Ad-lib this? Can't do that.
By the way, the chat, Jim's about to go on IL after this read. Jim fail incoming. Yeah, that was an interesting. But no, you're right.
I mean, what job would you rather have? Seriously.
This one. When I was in college, one of my classes was like, there was a TV studio at the school. And so we had like do all the different areas of like a studio. Like we'd have to like do the producer role. We have to run the show.
You have to be in front of camera.
And like read off a teleprompter.
Okay.
Like write your own script. It was difficult.
Didn't have an ad lib class.
Did not have an ad lib class.
No, that is
we did.
difficult. I mean, that makes sense. It was difficult because it's good. It's hard work.
But if you mess that up, and especially if the teleprompter's going fast, like, dude.
And the Padres have been in the
the Padres won last night. No, I'm screwed.
Right.
Maybe we can ask Darnay about that. How hard is it to read off a teleprompter?
I mean, he basically should have it down pretty much pat.
He does. We've seen it. We've seen him do it up close and personal, and he's very good at it.
So different
because it's kind of his job.
Yeah, it is. Like, I want to ask him, what does he think is easier? He would tell you TV. I think he finds this harder because of the amount of space you're given.
Right. Like in a telecast, it's like, all right, we got 3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes. Well, that's Hartman's strength. Now that we're really off topic, they would tell Hartman, like, he's doing a stand-up from crypto, like, you have 1 minute. He wouldn't even use a stopwatch, and he would hit 1 minute.
Steve is like the most professional, like ad lib reader on the planet.
He's like ChatGPT before ChatGPT. He's just gonna like do it.
There'd be 100 times when I was his producer, would I'd give him a read to do for like a sponsorship or whatever.
Do it.
And he would do it one take.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
All right. Darnay Trip, NBC 7. On the other side, this is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Padres and Mariners, game 2 of their 3-game series tonight up in Seattle. 6:40 first pitch. Dylan Cease, who is winless on the road this year, will be on the mound for the Padres. Padres, of course, fall back to second place in the National League West with their loss last night and the Dodgers win over the Reds. And tonight at 6 p.m. is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener on Thursday night at Snapdragon Stadium versus Stony Brook. Staples has school supplies as low as 25 cents. Your back-to-school budget saved by the easy button. The easy button. What did you think I was going to say, John? Love me some Staples. That was easy.
All right, Donate Trip NBC7 is with us. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Padres Mariners coming up tonight, game 2. There's a couple of places we want to go, Darnay, before getting into the Padres. One of which, because you heard us going down this path, and yes, did I kind of throw you under the bus a little bit? I may have. I'll take some accountability. Right?
It may have, yeah.
Okay. I recall a world where you at one point texted me or called me, or we talked about this idea about sports rap. And you're like, hey, what do you think of this idea? And I remember saying, I think it's a good idea.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, whose idea was sports rap?
I think the idea came from people above both our heads. I think it was a station collaboration, which I think was a good idea. And from there, we kind of spitballed how it could look and the format and this and that. And we did sports rap for a while and it was fun. But I don't think I birthed this idea. I think the idea of collaborating with you guys came about and then the conversations went from there.
Look, we just wanted to make you the reason why sports rap happened, give you all the credit, but I guess you're not going to take any of it.
Time out. Yeah, exactly. But here was my other question. Look, forget about that for a second.
It didn't sound like you were giving me credit earlier. That's not how it sounded.
Yeah, I can sense a little bit of the anger in your voice.
He's like, why am I doing this with you guys again?
I just assumed you weren't listening. Quick question about, we went down this path of, would you prefer to be a TV, like sportscaster, or a radio broadcaster? Or which do you think is harder, doing TV or doing radio? How would you answer that?
I think they're harder in different ways. I think there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff with what we do in terms of like cutting video and graphics and like the production side of it. And I know you guys have that as well, but just the fact that it's like a visual medium, there's that other thing. But we're also talking like 3 minutes for me, 3 hours for you. So that, I filled in for Darren. I've done shows with you guys.
It's a lot.
And I'm exhausted. I'm worn out after those. So I think they're kind of exhausting in their own way. And I mean, one of the things when I got to San Diego, I was like, this is a strong sports radio market. And so I think for San Diego's purposes, like, doing the TV job is great. And I really, really enjoy it. It seems like it's, baked in for sports fans a little bit more like on the radio side. Like there's a real strong kind of following and connection there, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes sense. And by the way, it's 4 hours for us, Darnay. 4 hours. Could you do a solo 4 hour show? How would you feel to that?
For now, I think five sounds like a nice round number to me.
Just, hey, you know what? Just make it 6. Screw it. Tell our bosses, just make it 6 hours. All right, let's get to the Padres
6,
here.
Why not?
Yeah, 6. Why not? Who cares? All right, let's get to the Padres. So it's been a 3-game swing essentially here the last 2 days. 2-game swing on Sunday, and then losing last night. Dodgers winning. Now you drop to second in the division, a game back, but really 2, and they're 2.5 back of the Cubs here. As far as, how you think this thing could go, where are you leaning on this? Because, not only are you going to have to outplay the Dodgers, but potentially they have to outplay the Cubs as well to secure a home field, playoff series here come postseason time.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's a good thing you don't necessarily have to go through the Dodgers. I mean, that's kind of like the anomaly of the season. Now, obviously, if you break it down and you finish a couple games behind the Dodgers, it's going to be essentially because of what happened in that series head to head. But just from Sunday on, the fact that you're like tied up Now, granted, they have the tiebreaker. You need to finish a game ahead of them. They've done that over the course of the last month and a half, 2 months. What were they, 9 back around July 3rd? And here they are, 1 back, a game ahead on Sunday. And so I think from that standpoint, the fact that you don't have to go through those guys in the conventional sense like you did last year when they had an outside chance in September and it was exciting and things didn't play out that way. I think that gives you some cause for optimism because the Dodgers just haven't kind of played to their full capabilities for a little while now, and maybe that's changing, and that's obviously going to make it more difficult. But I think the fact that, obviously it's a favorable schedule. You don't have to beat the Dodgers head up necessarily to get through. I think you like your chances and you love the situation you're in. Obviously, they haven't been in this type of spot for a long time, and so you take it every single time. And I think as far as the wild card is concerned, like I'll worry about that when I absolutely have to. Like the fact is, you're pushing for the division. And, that's not going to change anything just in terms of your approach if you end up having to settle for the wild card. I think that's kind of the focus. And hopefully, in the event that, say you're a week or 2 out and the Dodgers have a 3-game lead, it doesn't look like it's going to happen for you. You can, hope for the best as far as the Cubs are concerned. But for me, like my full attention would be on the Dodgers trying to win a division title for the first time since 2006 and kind of letting the chips fall where they may as far as the wild card goes.
I think it's a good way to look at it, especially being just so close right now with 30 games to play towards the top of the NL West. Darnay Trip, NBC7 is with us. So, they've gotten good production out of this lineup. But Jackson Merrill's been out, and he's coming back. Obviously, at some point, the reports are that he'll be back at some point this weekend. Like, what do you make of what that means for their lineup? Because that means either a Laureano or an O'Hearn or a Sheets is going to sit, but there's no other choice, right? I mean, Jackson Merrill's going to play every single day. You could almost argue it's at the expense of some of the production that they've had here recently.
Yeah, it's a great question. And, even in, kind of doing the exercise prior to the deadline of figuring out like what would be the best lineup, you did kind of run into your a spot where Sheets and Merrill and Cronenworth and Arise, like trying to figure out kind of the best place to put all these guys gets tricky. And then O'Hearn arrives and Sheets is hitting the ball well. So it is a little bit challenging from that standpoint. That's why Mike Shildt is the manager. He's going to be asked these questions. He shouldn't then ask the question to the reporter that's asking the questions. I would have an answer prepared in terms of how he wants to adjust that lineup. And it'll be interesting to see just kind of how it evolves. And as far as Merrill goes, like, he's had to deal with some of these injury things. And so, while we always will look at Jackson Merrill as an everyday guy, I'm sure that's how he sees himself. It gives you an excuse to kind of shuffle things around a little bit, maybe take him off his feet, the occasional off day, that sort of thing. But I think it's going to get to a certain point where you got to ride the hot hand or hot hands. Hopefully that's the case. And it'll be incumbent on Mike Shildt to figure out who that is. But more importantly, if it is, I think these conversations lead to Luis Arise because he's had an underwhelming season. If you have to identify the guy who is not the hot hand, then have the difficult adult conversation and make the move that benefits your team. And I think you're right. It is going to be a fascinating thing to watch in the weeks come forward.
What's it going to take for you to say Tatis is back? Because he hit a home run last night. It was kind of a rare sight because we haven't seen that in forever. But you can't say he's fully back yet, or he's back to hitting home runs until he does it more. What's it going to take for you?
That's a good question. 6 this month, 7 this month, because he has hit homers. It's not like he hasn't. He's the longest drought of his career, but he homered in July, and that was after things had slowed down. And so we've had some of these moments where it's like, okay, we're getting close. We're seeing glimpses of it. But the fact that it hasn't been a sustained thing, if you see 3 homers in a week, if you see 2 homers a week for a few weeks, I think that's when, okay, this guy is kind of finding it again from that standpoint. As Mike Shildt would tell you, on base, all these other things, he's done some things well. But power has been such an important part of Fernando Tatis Jr.'s game and the excitement, he causes, and it's obviously super important to this lineup, and the absence of that has been an issue. So I don't think anybody would ever be, satisfied with him being a 120 WRC plus guy with a, strong on base, but hits 15 homers a year. Like, that's not the Fernando Tatis Jr. that we got to know and fell in love with. So I think a big month, even just 6-7 homers, doing it consistently, I think that would be a good sign.
Final one for me, Darnay. You touched on it about Mike Schilt and his defensiveness when asked about some of the moves that he makes. Is that, why does he do it in your estimation? And does it do him well?
Into the mind of Mike Schilt for us.
You've interviewed. You're there for those back and forths. What purpose is it serving?
That's a great question. I don't know. I've thought about this a lot, and I don't know if I'm prepared to give like a full dissertation on it. I think I do think there's part of it where he is defensive of his guys. And I think part of it might be kind of, I don't know if he has to earn the favor of the clubhouse necessarily, but like the club knowing like Skipper's got our back, and even talking to, I've had Greg Garcia, former Padre, El Cajon guy on, and he played for Mike Schilt in the minors, and he knows Mike Schilt well. And he loves the fact that he like rides, he goes to bat for his guys. And so I think that means something. I don't always understand the extent to which and the frequency of which it happens, especially when often it's with fair questions. And I think a good example was the Jeremiah Estrada question, where he had a baked in answer. It was, we would rather have Estrada against rushing rather than bring in Morahone and risk them bringing in Will Smith. We prefer this matchup. He probably could have just given that explanation instead of having kind of a back and forth with Kevin Acee. There's probably more to it than that, and I don't necessarily feel like psychoanalyzing Mike Schilt too much at this very moment. But I think it's
4 hours.
I think it's a number of different things, but I think part of it at the core is the clubhouse knowing that, our manager is going to defend us. He has our back. Obviously, confidence, optimism, positivity, like we see that in spades with Mike Schilt. And I think that kind of bleeds into his interactions with the media to the point where they are 100% more contentious than they need to be.
I just wonder if he's made it clear that he's got the backs of his players.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see more from Mike Schilt.
It's really hard to know if he's in their corner or not. Maybe that's something maybe we'll see more of in the years ahead with Mike Schilt. Darnay, appreciate you, man. I forget what I said earlier, but if I said anything that was that I should apologize for, I apologize.
We're sorry.
No, it's fine, and I look forward to ignoring the group text for the rest of the night.
Okay, I didn't really mean what I just said about apologizing, but
we'll text you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll text you later.
I don't actually think you had anything to apologize for.
No, but, you know how. Like I tell,
we're pre-apologizing for something
before he goes. It's like what I always tell my wife, and Jim does the same with Aaron. I think anything we say during the show cannot be used against us.
No,
we are because. And you appreciate it, Darnay, having done the radio side or like filling it. We have time to fill. We go down paths that we just go down.
You have to.
You just got to do it.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
I get it.
It's a bit. All right, Darnay, thanks, man.
All right, see you guys.
All right, Darnay Trip, NBC 7. We're giving away Jonas Brothers tickets. We're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up. This is John and Jim. Stay with us. All right, San Diego State football back on Thursday. They'll take on Stony Brook Snapdragon Stadium. Pregame coverage at 5, kick at 7. On your home for San Diego State football, San Diego Sports 760. Again, the Sean Lewis Show is tonight at 6 p.m. Now, Mike Schild is speaking with the media as we sit here right now. We'll give away Jonas Brothers tickets in a minute, but Mike Schild is speaking with the media, and this goes down the line of Kevin's reporting. But according to Schild, at least another turn before Michael King is back in the rotation. He's slated for another sim game in the coming days, Mike Schild said. Meanwhile, Alec Jacob is there to fortify the bullpen, and JP Sears is soon to be optioned. So Sears, ineffective yesterday, will be optioned. Alec Jacob, to give them maybe some length or a fresh arm, whatever it is, will join the Padres per AJ Cassavell.
Okay. Just more sim games for Michael King. We'll see what happens.
Coming days. So we're doing. You said that Baltimore series earlier. That still works.
It does,
right?
If he pitches, say Thursday, then you're looking at
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday as you're making your return.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is possible,
right? Definitely.
But still,
But remember, it was going to be Seattle.
It was going to be Seattle.
He's not going to miss any more time than the IL stint requires.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. And my guess is when he returns, it won't be like, oh, he's going to pitch 6 innings. Like it's going to be, hey, you're on a pitch limit here. And last time it was like 2 innings. And we'll see.
I wonder. I honestly do wonder this. Do using sim games put a player in the best position to be successful immediately when they return to the major leagues? The reason they love these sim games is the controlled environment, right? They can do everything that they need. They can monitor everything that like a Michael King or Yu Darvish needs. But are you putting them in a situation where they're dealing with like real adversity, or that they're being tested in a level that is necessary to prepare them for getting back?
Well, let's just also be real here. These guys aren't like rookies. They're vets. They've been in a big league game before. They know what what they need to do to get ready.
Yeah, but I mean, I was 10 years ago, there were guys like Roy Halladay throwing.
I know. For a hitter,
rehab games.
I would much rather have a hitter go down for a game in the minors than like a sim game or something.
Oh, I got you. You're saying the hitter would get more out of going down, but I feel like the pitcher would get it. When you're Michael King, you've thrown 2 innings since May 18th.
Right.
You have to be put against like an opposing team in a stadium.
Right.
Like there's no way there's no advantages to that. It's been going on for 100 years.
I got it. I know why.
Okay.
They just don't want these guys to go down and throw to Campy.
And put them in double A. It's kind of maybe honestly. I mean, put them in single A.
Keep them away from Luis Campusano.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it's too much reaction. I just feel like we've gotten away from like, you have all these minor league affiliates. Mm-hmm. You have a guy that needs work. Why wouldn't you just have him play with? Because Yu Darvish had a bad experience in Las Vegas and that set him back. So now we can only have sim games. That's what happened. So like Yu Darvish just had a AAA start.
Right.
Like 2 months ago, now they won't use him anymore.
Did Michael King have a AAA start before he returned last time? I want to say yes.
Yeah, he did actually.
He did.
But so what? He doesn't need one now? Just wasn't good enough experience.
Maybe he doesn't want to go down there. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need it.
Maybe.
He just needs to get his stamina up a little bit here.
Which is fine. I'm just saying that when you get into September, thin margin, you're a game back in the division, you need this guy to be good. Do we want to be saying after Michael King's next start in the major leagues, he was rusty. He was all right, but he was rusty. I mean, I get
Don't you expect him to be rusty?
I would expect him to be very rusty.
Yeah. He was very rusty his first start back. And you thought, all right, his stuff still looked good, just has to work on his command. But, he's throwing, same velocity. It wasn't like his velocity dipped at all. Mm-hmm. And he's just rusty. And then he went back on the IL.
Right.
So he's bound to be rusty again for at least his first start. I mean, I'd be very surprised if when he comes off the IL, he goes, 5 scoreless, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk.
But would he be less rusty if given a proper rehab stint? As in last time he rushed back, he made 1 rehab outing. He was out for over 2 months. He rushed back. And then on the other side of it, he admitted, or at least Kevin said, that he basically rushed back. He was dealing with a knee, but he wanted to get back. I'm just saying, put these players in the best position to be successful. And I feel like with starting pitching, sim games, you're asking for trouble on the other side of a sim game. Because they're gonna be like, oh, he was great in a sim game, man. Up downs, 4 innings, man. He shoved. And then all of a sudden you get back to the major leagues. It's nothing like
no hits, 12 strikeouts.
There's like, you can't compare a sim game to what you're going to see, I guess, is my point.
We'll tell you how good he was, and he was fantastic.
Every sim game is the best, right?
Oh, you're the best player in the world in sim games.
But then in those minor league rehab starts, they're giving up like 6 runs in 3 innings.
Right. Those are a different story.
They really are. All right, call right now if you want a pair of free tickets to see the Jonas Brothers with Boys Like Girls September 4th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Caller 5, you are going. The number to call is 877-767-4760. Pretty good giveaway. Pair of tickets to see the Jonas Brothers on September 4th. Call right now. Caller 5, you are going. 877-767-4760. 877-767-4760. We'll kick off hour 4 on the other side. We'll hear from Mike Schilt. We're with you until 6 p.m. John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place, and now open the brand new hotel and spa at Jamul Casino Resort. It's the next level of luxury. Treat yourself to a stunning new stay. They've got rooftop relaxation, an indulgent spa treatment as well. All the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And now open as well as the Jamul 23 with endless dining. Every day you can savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at the all-new Jamul 23, from their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to the VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulge in chef-curated specialties like seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
Their food is terrific over at Jamul. You can catch the sports action at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, experience the ultimate sports showdown, catch the Padres live, plus savory food at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, where fandom meets fantastic at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
This update's brought to you by Staples. Padres and Mariners, game 2 of their 3-game series, 6:40 tonight in Seattle. Padres, of course, now trail the Dodgers in the National League West by 1 game as the Dodgers beat the Reds last night in LA. And tonight at 6 p.m. is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener on Thursday night at Snapdragon Stadium against Stony Brook. Staples has school supplies as low as 25 cents. Your back-to-school budget saved by the easy button. The easy button? What did you think I was going to say? Love me some Staples. That was easy.
Previously on John and Jim.
It's not like Judge is doing something beyond judging, so to speak. He's being judged, but it's not even the best season of Judge's career, so I got to give it to Cal Raleigh because of that.
Look at Judge's career. I mean, this is a damn good season. Judge has had 2 better seasons than this. Last year, 58 and 144, 36 doubles. Like, that's an MVP season. If Judge ends the year with, say, 47 home runs and Cal Raleigh ends the year with 58, 59 home runs, especially at the position that he's playing, catcher, it's a premium position.
Oh, yeah.
I think you have to look at that and it be the deciding factor here.
Now, live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is the final hour of John and Jim. We are with you until 6 p.m. We're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up momentarily. So we'll hear from Mike Schilt. We have Jim's back page coming up as well. We're getting you ready for Padres and Mariners. We'll see what kind of update Schilt has for us on Jackson Merrill, right? I think it starts there. So this is pretty brief. Yesterday we had over 8 minutes of Mike Schilt. We didn't even play the entirety of it.
No.
Today we have 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
What?
Which has actually been cut down to probably like 2.5 minutes max.
What's happening?
So here is Mike Schilt, and it starts with an update on Jackson Merrill.
No baseball activity. He's felt as good yesterday that he's felt since it's happened, and we're still in the process of evaluating.
Is it too early to anticipate him being back at some point in the Minnesota series?
We're not there yet. I mean, that's not to say it's too early, not to say it's too late. We just don't have that timeline for you.
How about Michael King? Where is he right now, and what's your anticipation of his timeline?
I think he's out on the outfield. Couldn't help it, Don. Yeah, I think he's doing okay. You know, I mean, he felt as good as he's felt in talking to him a little while ago. He's playing catch today, and then we'll figure out what it looks like for him moving forward. But there's a good chance he's going to throw some kind of simulated game in the near future, but it really depends on how he plays catch and comes out today.
Is there any sense of optimism that we might see him in Minnesota or Baltimore against Baltimore?
We're not quite there yet. I mean, you can be optimistic. We're optimistic, but we're also realistic of where he's at, and we're still in the putting the pieces together of what's next for him, and what's next for him is a simulated game somewhere.
Do you have a day in mind for that sim game?
We have in a light pencil, but nothing we're going to share because it's just be irresponsible to share something that may or not happen.
Guys?
Silent Jacob in there. What do you expect from him into the bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's tough for JP. I mean, it's tough. He's in this cycle that we're in that, you know, multiple guys are in, Vasquez and Hart and Jacob, Reynolds, you know, I'm sure Marinaccio. I know these guys have been great for us. They pitched well and helped us, and I admire how well they handle it. A lot of respect for this group, and you know, JP understood it. You know, the opportunity to come in and get an arm, you know, but he took like a pro, and he'll be back. That's for sure. As far as Jacob goes, to your initial question, AJ, you know, he's a guy that hasn't pitched in a while that can provide us some length if we need it.
So it doesn't sound too great on Jackson Merrill. Michael King, on the other hand, we'll see. But I mean, Merrill's not even starting any baseball activities yet, and you know, he's not even doing anything. That, like I said, when you have a sprained ankle and then you add a bone bruise to that, that doesn't take just like a week. That's like a 3 to 4 week type of thing potentially.
Well, hold everything, because since Schilt spoke with the media, Kevin Acee has tweeted.
Okay.
Jackson Merrill is on the field playing catch. He has brought his bat too. This is his first baseball activity. So from no baseball activity, you're right. When Mike Schilt spoke 10 minutes ago.
But is he running? Is he running?
No,
the bases?
I mean, this doesn't mean tomorrow.
No.
Obviously. But it is Tuesday. And I think Kevin's reporting was Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
Which is relatively soon and would be the day he's eligible to come off the IL. I get your point, which is the injury was probably a significant one, hence the fact that he went on the IL and is ultimately going to miss a couple of weeks. But again, Kevin's saying that he is playing catch, which again doesn't mean you can play in the major leagues. He's brought out a bat too, and this will be his first baseball activity. Who even knows, man? Like with King, with Merrill, I do know they're both really important and they need to get them sooner rather than later, but not at the expense of their health. So that's the balancing act. You need them, but not at the expense of their health.
If Jackson misses, say, another week and a half here, and the guys that are in there for him are really playing well, like
maybe
there's another question that we're going to have to talk about, and Schultz going to have to do. I mean, he's going to put Jackson Merrill in there for sure. Jackson Merrill will like knock down Schulte's door into his office to like put him in the lineup,
right?
Because Jackson Merrill hates being out, but it's what's best for the team, and so we'll see what happens going forward.
But that's the hard thing. I mean, what's best for the team is Jackson Merrill getting healthy, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you want Jackson Merrill to be healthy, and you want him to be playing every day. But also, if he's playing every day, like the guys that are filling in for him are playing really well, and so Jackson Merrill's going to have to produce and perform.
That's the thing. Like I say it because I don't really know if what's best for the team is Jackson Merrill playing every day. But
we don't have a choice. He's going to play every day.
Exactly. He's going to play every single day. So it's a pretty interesting conversation, actually, that needs to be had. The other things I think the last 2 days, the whole focus has been on Mike Schilt and his bullpen usage. Like that has been the summary of the last two games.
Yeah.
It was obviously 2 days ago, Jeremiah Estrada. Yesterday, it was David Morgan. This is pretty simple. Tonight, at some point after Dylan Cease, they're going to turn to their bullpen, hopefully with a lead, right?
Yeah.
I guess what's going to happen. Everyone will second guess the hell out of it if they blow the lead, or he'll make the right call.
Right.
But the pieces are in place. We've talked about, how do you use these pieces? When do they come into games? But both Estrada and Morgan had sub-3 ERAs when they were put on the mound in those spots, and both failed to perform. And guess what? Whoever they put on the mound tonight with a lead, if they're so lucky to have one, it's going to be in the same spot. It's going to be Mason Miller or Adrian Morahone or whomever else. You get the point. And we can put it on Schilt. I'm happy to do it if he sticks with guys too long, or why did he do this? End of the day, now it's time for guys like Estrada, Morgan, whomever else to hold leads. And this is the time of year where you hope to get some confidence heading in to October that you can hold those leads. But I'll criticize Mike Schilt. I don't really put the last 2 days. I put it on everyone, but I don't put it fully on him. That's for sure.
I agree with that. I don't think the last two nights bringing in Estrada and David Morgan when he did was like egregious moves. I don't. They just didn't play. They didn't pitch well.
Right.
I'll argue with anybody about the decisions for Estrada on Sunday. I kind of did that last night on social media. Everyone was it didn't work out well. Everyone's very adamant that that was the worst move in the history of the sport.
Right.
But
it's true.
Schilt has a lot on his plate to juggle here with this bullpen, especially when you have so many good bullpen arms. You have one guy in that bullpen that has a defined role. Think about that.
Suarez.
There's one player in that bullpen with a defined, hey, you have the ninth. Everybody else from the fifth inning on could be in at any moment. Like that's difficult, especially if you have a routine in the bullpen where, if you're the seventh inning guy or you're the eighth inning guy, exactly when you need to start warming up. If they have the lead, when you need to start getting ready to throw, and you need to get, when you're about to come in the game. But right now, I feel like the 5 through 8, it's like, who knows who's going to be in the game?
It's an interesting point. I'm looking at Mason Miller, for example. 9 appearances, 8 of them in the 8th inning or later. He had 1 7th inning appearance, and that was back on August 9th. He's appeared in the 8th inning or later in his last 5 appearances. But it's an interesting point. It's a point I've made since the deadline. You have to define roles. People want to know what they're supposed to do. Nobody wants to go to work and be like, what am I supposed to do? That's the worst feeling in the world. Your first 2 weeks of the job, what do I do?
Like, tell me what to do. Like, tell me what to do. Show me how to do it, and I'll do it.
It's the absolute worst feeling. So I would think at this point, you'd kind of have a feel for what your role is if you've been acquired. But here's the thing, even if you were here, it's like you have a job and they bring someone else in. You're like, well, what does that mean for me? Like, I thought I was the guy fixing engines.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it?
Because, when you have defined roles, you're like, all right, Morehone's got the 7th.
Yep.
Adam and Miller, eighth,
depending on who's up or available.
Suarez in the 9th.
Right.
Estrada, you got the 5th and the 6th, or the 5th or whatever. But that's not how it's been. I know Miller's, like you said there, Miller's pitched mostly in the 8th.
Mostly 8th.
But they would use him in the 7th inning.
Definitely.
And they have.
Definitely. Yeah, they have.
They've used Jason Adam in the 5th inning.
Right.
Like,
right.
that is crazy.
Yep.
Morehone is all over the map. So yeah, I mean, look, when you have that many options, it's hard to choose because you have so many places you could go. You're like, oh, should I go here? You should go here. It's like if you go to a candy store, you've been getting put in front of a bunch of candy. It's like, what do I choose? What do I want? But if you go to a candy store and you're like, all right, here's 2 options, pick. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I'll take that one.
That's a good point. I mean, it really is a good point. I go back to yesterday too, and they're like, well, David Morgan failed to come through in that spot. And that's 100% accurate. I'm thinking to myself, well, it's the 5th inning. Your starter went 3 2/3. You now need to link together like 6 innings, 6 innings. And Mike Schill actually said something postgame that made sense last night, where he's like, usually the guy in after the guy goes fewer than 4 innings, you need to get like an inning out of. Like, rarely do you get 2 innings from a starter, and then you go to a second reliever 2/3 of an inning later. So they needed some amount of cover, so to speak, and they didn't get it, unfortunately, from David Morgan. But I understand the thought process. Like, are you really going to, again, unleash Jason Adam with, they're not going to, but like with 1 out in the 5th inning or whatever they could have done yesterday to spell David Morgan? But you're playing for like the perfect, now you need perfection from your bullpen from that point forward to have a shot to win.
And you know what? Having so many arms in your bullpen will eventually set up to happen in the postseason. A lot of second guessing.
Tons. You're right.
Why didn't you go to
Morehouse?
It happened on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of arms, and you have a bag of riches, as Trevor Hoffman told us a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
which is a good problem to have, but also it could turn out to be a problem because the amount of second guessing that will be taking place if the moves don't work every time. It's like, oh, Morehone goes in the game, gives it up. Oh, I should have pitched Adams. Miller goes in the game, gives it up. Should have pitched Adam, right? Adam goes in the game, he gives it up. Should have pitched Miller. Estrada goes in the game, he gives it up. Should have pitched Morehone. Like, that's a lot of second guessing from everybody if things don't go right, other than Robert Suarez in the 9th inning. And I'm sure that if Robert Suarez goes in the 9th inning, he gives it up. Should have been Miller, right?
Really good point.
So, like, there's a lot of chances to have this thing be second guessed to the nth degree come postseason time because you do have so many arms. I'm not saying it's like an awful thing to have, but it does set up for more opportunities to second guess. If you had just 3 dudes that are lights out of the back of that bullpen, there's no second guessing because those are your guys. But now you got 5.
Yeah, it's a good point. It opens up a lot of interpretation. And yeah, Monday morning quarterbacking, it really does if you're not winning games, which they haven't done the last 2 days. We'll see if they can snap it coming up tonight. We're getting you ready for Padres and Mariners. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Don't go anywhere. It's John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, tonight at 6, the Sean Lewis Coaches Show. Me and Rich, we're going to sit down with the Aztecs' second-year head coach. We'll preview Thursday's opener against Stony Brook and more. It's the Sean Lewis Show, and you're home for the Aztecs. San Diego Sports 760.
Can you give me a preview of the preview tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we talk Aztecs.
Wow.
Okay, so we definitely there's no Taylor Travis.
Nothing?
And I want to say that actually, I think you may have texted about it while I was doing the show.
I texted you about it?
Yeah, with Darnay. You definitely texted me six times about it today.
We were asking Darnay to come on, and I said, you're coming on to talk about the engagement with Taylor and Travis, right?
Right. And I don't know what time that was, but it was probably, we want you. Oh, you know what? You sent this at 10 in the morning, and I didn't talk to Sean until well after this, like 11 or 11:30. But I just completely disregarded this. I'm like, this makes no sense. I don't care. And then I think I didn't find out that they were engaged until after I spoke with Sean, because I just assumed this made no sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But they are engaged.
Correct.
And the Cleveland Guardians today said, thanks a lot, Taylor Swift. Now no one cares that next year's schedule is out. I don't think they would have cared either way, Cleveland Guardians. That's the thing. Are you cool with every brand trying to get involved in it? Like, I'm looking at this, this feed that shows every team that's tweeted about it. And it's not just obviously NFL. I mean, like the Warriors, the Golden Knights, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, it goes on and on and on, obviously.
Buffalo Wild Wings social media account said, we will cater the wedding.
Right. Exactly.
You had, you had some of them actually pretty funny. Like Awful Announcing posted an article. NFL podcast host announces engagement to recent guest.
I saw that. That is good. That's very good.
Somebody from that writes in the Detroit newspaper posted an article saying that the Lions Week 6 opponent's tight end got engaged today.
I like that. I like
pretty
that.
Good.
Yeah.
Babylon B had one that was the ref overturned the proposal because after the review his knee wasn't down.
Interesting. I like it.
I like Worldwide Wob said that he was disappointing the amount of news dumps the past hour. This was the time.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Like if you had a news dump and you were kind of like iffy about it and you're kind of waiting for a moment, it should have happened this morning between 10 and 11 a.m.
Completely. That's completely true.
Because that was your time.
Yeah, because this kind of I'm cool with brands getting involved. I mean, this is the business that we live in. In social media, you try to go viral. You know what people are searching for. You want to be involved.
If you are a social media manager for a brand, you have to go all out.
You have to.
Crumble posted about it today. Everybody did because it's the number one news story in the world right now.
Right. I think where I take exception is where every brand in the world will be like, it's Flag Day. We at this bank would like to offer you a flag. Give me a break. You're trying too hard. But since it is a sports and entertainment collision course with Taylor and Travis, it makes sense to me that other sports teams will get involved in the conversation. It's so relevant. Yeah. It's so topical.
It's everything.
It's so big.
You know what I find funny though? Is so you go to her Instagram page. She has 281 million followers. That's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
This post has 21 million likes in 7 hours. The record is 75 million posted by Messi.
I say she doesn't get there. Do you? What do you think? Seems like it's slowed down.
Yeah. I mean, 21 million in 7 hours. I would like to see how many Messi had in the first 7 hours of his post, but it's different. I mean, World Cup. It's an entire country. I mean, but this is the entire world. You know, 200. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, how many people she's following on Instagram?
40.
Wrong.
Zero.
She
doesn't follow Travis Kelce.
She doesn't even follow her fiance.
I wonder if she has it where she can't get DMs except from people that follow her.
Well, she did mention on the New Heights podcast that she's never opened her DMs ever. Because I can message Taylor Swift right now if I wanted to. I can say, hey, congrats. Hey, congrats on the engagement.
She'll probably open that.
Blocked.
Engagement. Hey, congrats on the engagement. You think she'll respond?
Nice. It's really nice that you would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll get back. I'm sure she will. I doubt that many people have done it. Is it true that nobody's ever opened her DMs though? Like, does she have a manager that does it? Like, let's say a brand reaches out or something.
Probably. I'm sure she obviously has access to her Instagram because
right.
Unless she didn't post this morning.
That's the other thing. Just someone said, "Hey, post it."
News is coming out though on when this engagement happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was
Travis's dad has spilled the news.
Okay.
That they got engaged about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so this is old news actually for like the family and for them.
Yes.
Wow.
Which I can understand. I was thinking like, there's no way they got engaged like yesterday, and they're like, oh my god, and then she decided today to post this.
Right. Right.
People are speculating. Because the New Heights podcast was recorded like a month before it came out, or a couple weeks before it came out.
Was that recorded when she was engaged or not?
Well, according to Travis's dad, it was recorded before they were engaged.
Okay.
And Taylor's big on numbers, right? People are like, oh, maybe they got engaged on the actual same day of her album release, which was 8/13.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just a thought.
There's a lot there.
What I do know is Swifties will find out exactly where this happened. They will find out the exact time of day this happened. They will figure out all the details of this. Swifties.
Yes, you guys will.
They will find everything out.
100%.
Which I'm not worried about.
100%. Oh, you'll get I'm sure there'll be
detail.
Books written about this engagement. I was guessing.
Like who they'll probably find out who the florist was for this engagement. They'll find out everything that they need to know, like the time of day it happened. Everything.
Is there a prenup here?
It's a good question.
From her side?
My guess is there will be.
Okay, so what is she worth? Billions?
Way more than Travis. Like, let's look over here. Let's see here. So Taylor Swift net worth. It's a lot. Let's see here. What do we got? Taylor Swift. Is she a billionaire?
I would think she'd be close.
800 million.
And his is 60 million.
Yeah. So she's, and then on August 13th, it said Taylor Swift's net worth is 1.6 billion, according to Forbes.
And according to Google, Travis Kelce's around 60.
Right. So yeah,
there's a little bit of a gap.
Her net worth is in the B's,
and his is in the M's. Both are pretty good, truthfully.
When you make that much money, I feel like there always has to be a prenup, just because. If like me and Aaron, there's not a prenup. We have no money. I'm sure you and Kristen, no prenup there. Maybe no. Yes.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. When you don't make any money, we don't have any money. There's no reason for a prenup.
Exactly.
But interested to see what happens. Taylor's pretty traditional, so we'll see if she takes the last name. Highly doubt it though, because Taylor Swift is like trademarked and like branded.
Right. Maybe he'll take her last name.
Travis Swift.
Boom.
I heard Travis Dale in the office there. He had a great idea.
Okay.
He should take her last name and change his number to 13. So then he's on the Chiefs and it says Swift 13. And it's an actual real number and real name of a player. Those jerseys would sell like crazy.
Or they could just acquire DeAndre Swift.
That too.
All right, we'll get back to Padres and Mariners on the other side. Jim's back page is ahead. This is John and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Lexus of El Cajon. Bring luxury home. Padres and Mariners, game 2 of their 3-game series. Tonight, 6:40 first pitch up in Seattle. Dylan Cease, who is winless on the road this year, will start tonight for the Padres. And tonight at 6 p.m., the Sean Lewis Coaches Show, the first of the season with John Rich and Coach Lewis as they get you ready for the season opener on Thursday night at Snapdragon Stadium against Stony Brook. Experience true luxury from Lexus El Cajon, where you'll get a great deal during the Golden Opportunity Sales event on any Lexus in stock. See why they're ranked number 1 for customer service. Visit LexusElCajon.com. Bring luxury home from Lexus El Cajon.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I was trying to find the exact win-loss record of the Padres against the Mariners in recent years. I saw it within like 4 hours. Now I forget it. But I mean, they've been awful. You touched on this last night. They've been awful against the Mariners in recent history. Something like, I'm making it like 3-12 in their last 15. It's something really bad. They're 0-4 this year. They were 1-3 last year. They were 1-3 the year before. So just going back the last couple of years tells a little bit of that story. But for whatever reason, now Seattle's been better since like 2022, and they're good right now. But the Padres, who have figured out some teams throughout baseball over the last half decade, have not figured out the Seattle Mariners. Now need a win tonight to avoid losing a series in Seattle.
I just go back to the number 0-27 this year with runners in scoring position.
That's insane.
I mean, the Mariners just laid it on the Padres here at Petco Park.
That's right.
And last night, it started out well for the Padres, but then Seattle with all their thumped up and down that lineup. I mean, you got to pitch well against this team. And at home, Seattle's been damn near perfect of late.
Right.
So we'll see what happens tonight. Dylan Cease, it's going to be a tough. Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for Dylan Cease tonight. I mean, everything's going up against him. A power hitting team on the road where he's, not won a single game this year. He's got a 5.65 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
You're going up against a guy who has 50 home runs on the season. Good luck.
It's insane. Every time I look up at MLB Network, the Brewers have hit a home run. It's uncanny. They lead tonight 3-0. Not that it matters. Here's the thing I was going to say. We talk obsessively about the Padres and the Dodgers in this division. The Mariners are trying to win their division too. Right. So they're right there. And it's such a big advantage for them, just like it is for San Diego. If the season ended right now, the Mariners are the 6th seed.
I know.
So they can improve, obviously, all the way to the 3 seed.
Yep.
Should they win their division. So the difference is going to be something like this. If you're Seattle, are you hosting the Astros or are you playing in Houston?
And they are going to tell you they want to play at home hosting the Astros.
Yeah, exactly. And they're 1.5 games behind Houston, which is very similar to the spot that the Padres are in.
Yeah, we know that the Mariners, these games are just as important to them as the Padres.
Yep.
The good news is, like I said, after these 2 nights, it lightens up significantly.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be playing a team that is competing for a postseason spot until, when? Like, you got Baltimore, you got Minnesota, Baltimore, Colorado. Then you face the Reds. They're competing for a last spot in a wild card. So, but you have them at home, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Then Colorado, the Mets will be there competing. So, Milwaukee will have already locked up the division by the end of September. So it's not like they're fighting their way to win a division. So after this series with Seattle, you face 2 teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. That's it.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I still like the trend lines in general.
Yeah.
Like, for all the panic and all, like you said, it's like it's been a while since Padres fans have had a team that's in a true division race, like a true division race. So, and I think the reaction is a good thing. I think the fandom is a really good thing. But I think when you like widen it out, you say, you know what? They're fine. And the division hasn't been decided, and their schedule is easy enough where there's plenty of opportunities still in front of this team. I mean, there really are plenty of opportunities. You just want to get to the other side of the Seattle series feeling good about yourself. Like, you don't want to lose the next 2 games in Seattle. You're not going to feel very confident losing the next 2 games in Seattle. So to me, it's paramount you don't do that. I don't know if they can win the next 2 or not. You got to get one of them. Hopefully they can get 2. But if you lose the next 2, I mean, you've given a lot back. That would be a 4-game losing streak if that happened.
What is the odds in the Dodgers Reds game tonight, by the way?
The odds in the Dodgers Red in terms of a favorite. Okay.
I'm guessing the Dodgers are heavily favored in that game.
I'm going to tell you. And for example, tonight, the Padres, by the way, the Mariners are minus 115, so very slight favorites. Okay. But the Dodgers tonight are minus 185. Kershaw and Nick Martinez.
Okay. Yeah. Cincinnati's kind of holding on by a thread here.
Yep.
They are right now 2.5 back of the Mets. Mets playing the Phillies right now, scoreless in the top of the 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's kind of the only team that in the National League that's competing for a playoff spot.
Right.
And if the Mets play a little better baseball here against the Phillies, especially, I mean, you could be looking at the Reds by the time the Padres face them is like,
good point.
And probably too little, too late.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I completely agree with that. Yeah, and again,
and you want the Reds to win these next couple of games because they're facing the Dodgers and they directly affect you.
By the way, all this talk about the Padres schedule, the Dodgers after Cincinnati is Arizona, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Colorado, San Francisco. Those are their next 5 series. Arizona, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Colorado, San Francisco. So as easy as it quote unquote is for the Padres, it's relatively easy for the Dodgers. Who, I mean, they have the Phillies.
We knew that. We knew that their schedule is going to be
similar,
cakewalk, just like the Padres. Now they have to go out and prove it and do it.
Yeah, they're very similar schedules for the two teams.
Well, I mean, how many games of those are at home for the Dodgers?
It was 5 home series, 5 road series, which is the same as the Padres for the final 31 games. So
where did the Dodgers finish up?
They finished in Seattle.
Ooh.
Yeah. In fact, 6-game roadie, Arizona, Seattle.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So not easy.
Padres finish up 6-game homestand, Milwaukee, Arizona.
Right.
And Milwaukee might be the best team in baseball, but like I said, will they need that to lock up the one? Maybe they will. Who knows?
Right.
But that's interesting. Seattle could be playing for a potential division title the final games of the season, and they've been great at home.
And the Dodgers aren't good on the road, by the way. They're 33-33. They're an average team.
So while we don't like the Mariners right now, we could potentially all be Mariners fans here in about a month.
You think it comes down in the NL West to the final weekend or not? It's easy to say it, but is it actually going to happen?
I do.
You think they'll be within 3 with 3 to play?
I do. I do. I don't think either team is going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be like, oh, one team falls off a cliff and the other goes and wins 11 in a row.
I agree with you.
I just don't see it because their schedule. Their schedule to me, it's just I don't know, man. I don't feel like either of these teams are going to play poorly in September. I think they're both going to play well, and this thing could be decided by a game or two.
Who'd you say the Padres finished with? The final series is against
Milwaukee and Arizona.
But Arizona's the final 3 games.
Correct, at home. And Arizona will be ready for Cancun come that Monday.
I'm just envisioning a world where it's like the final day of the regular season and you're like win and you have the division, or I mean, it's crazy. Where it could, again, I mean, they're separated right now by 1 game. Now I know it's 2, but I mean, that's how close it is. So it's possible.
Dude, it is going to be a long month. I feel like it's going to be a long month.
Just in general, because we know they're destined for the postseason, but we don't know what seed they're going to be.
Not that they're destined with the postseason. That it's back and forth. Every game is going to be micro analyzed. Yep. It's every move is going to be taken out of like this is the greatest move ever, or like Mike Schultz should be fired. And it started on Sunday.
And last night, dude, we did a wrap up show last night. We didn't even touch on this. People were freaking out.
Oh, Scott,
honestly, specifically at us.
Season was over.
I'm like, why are you mad at us? Because the Padres lost to the Mariners. And it's like all been on Schilt. And again, we criticize Schilt. Everyone's like, if not for Mike Schilt, they would have beaten the Dodgers on Sunday and they would have beaten the Mariners on Monday. Isn't that way too easy to say? Tell me Mike Schilt actually cost them 2 games. I don't buy it. I really don't. I mean, again, I think he can position them to win. I think he could set them up not to be successful, but I don't think the Padres lost the last 2 days solely because of Mike Schilt. I really don't. No. And I think the reaction from a lot of people in the fan base is Mike Schilt is the reason as to why this happened. Like, you got a better option, dude. Everyone else is come and gone.
Now, if you want to get mad at Mike Schilt for continuing to hit Luis Ariz second in the lineup, okay.
Yeah.
I did go 2 for 5 last night.
Yep.
With an RBI. The one player we haven't even mentioned today, I don't even think we've mentioned his name today.
Who?
His name is Manny Machado. He had an awful game last night. He had a bad series once again against the Dodgers. Shocking. And he had another error last night as well. And he had an opportunity in the 9th inning with, I think, the tying run on. Like, he was a tying run.
Was he 9-6 as the tying run? Or was he 9-6 and the tying run was in the on-deck circle at that point? I don't know. Was he 9-6 as the tying run? Or was he 9-5 with 2 on?
Might have been 9-5, 2-1. Hold on, let me check.
Yeah.
Here. So in the 9th inning, you had Jake Cronenworth grounded out.
Yep.
Will Wagner singled. Tatis reached on a fielder's choice.
Right.
Ariz grounded out. Now it's 9-6. And then
but there's 1 on for Manny. So he's representing. He needed to reach to bring the tying run to the plate.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he struck out swinging.
Still a big spot.
He had he's had an awful August. Just a piss poor August. Committed another error. Now his 15th error on the season. His August splits are just really bad. He had a great July, and then he fell off a cliff this month. He has 1 homer, 7 RBIs. He has a 611 OPS. He's hitting 225. That's really bad. And your toughest part of your schedule was in August. Now, to their credit, to the team's credit, they've played well in August because of all their moves they've made. They've stepped up. Lariano, O'Hearn, Sheets has stepped up in a role while Jackson Merrill's been out. Thank God they haven't had to rely on Manny, because if they had to rely on Manny, this team might have been looking completely different right now.
How did we do 3 hours and 42 minutes today without mentioning the words Manny Machado?
I don't know.
That's a first.
That is a first.
Probably in season or out of season.
Well, we made sure to mention his name because he needed to be mentioned after last night's piss poor performance.
And he'll be mentioned, I'm sure, again tonight.
Yep.
On the wrap-up show, Jim's Back Page is coming up next. Again, the Sean Lewis Show coming up at 6 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, final time here, John and Jim. Back tomorrow. Kevin Acey will be on the show. We do have the Sean Lewis show, which is coming up at 6 p.m. We will preview Thursday's game. We talk about Jaden Danigal under center for the Aztecs, about the return of Trey White, about the offseason for SDSU as year 2 gets underway for Sean Lewis. Again, that'll be Thursday night. You can hear the game here on San Diego Sports 760, but the Sean Lewis show is coming up in about 10 or so minutes right here on San Diego Sports 760. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Oh, what is it? I can't even say
Let's
it.
get ready to rumble?
No, you can't say that. You're going to get cease
You
and
can say it,
desist.
but you can't say it like that.
But I could say, let's get ready to
Rumble.
I can say that, right?
Sure.
But I can't do like the whole let's.
Yeah, you
No.
can.
Okay, let's get to it.
He will sue the crap out of us.
Yeah. McDonald's, John, is bringing a new special edition gold sauce to menus on September 3rd. That is a combo of North Carolina barbecue and honey mustard that can be added to snack wraps, McCrispy strips, sandwiches, or as a dipping cup.
For one day only?
A special edition gold, yes, one day only on September 3rd.
Why?
I don't know. Marketing.
Interesting. One day.
The special edition gold sauce is a blend of vinegary North Carolina barbecue sauce infused with notes of honey, smoke, and mustard. When put together, it looks like the color. It looks like the color gold.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to put it together. Is there something I'm missing on gold? September 3rd. Just gold sauce.
Just gold sauce.
Okay.
Just gold sauce.
Not like the Olympic kickoff or anything. Just gold sauce.
Just gold sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know how you're talking about brands.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce today.
Right.
Well, the brands are branding.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme today at noon announced that today from 5 to 7 p.m. they're offering free donuts.
Right now?
Yes, offers available today from 5 to 7 p.m. at participating U.S. Krispy Kreme shops. You have to, let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, their slogan is, "We'd marry you with dough rings. Free original glazed tonight from 5 to 7 p.m."
Just everything's got to go. That's an incredible offer.
Here is the message to all employees from their CEO or head of marketing. It looks like right here. It says, "As you know, Krispy Kreme has proudly worn our Swiftie badge for a while now, and I've been deeply committed to the cause. After this afternoon's major news, and as your humble social media manager, I regret to inform you that my productivity has plummeted. Effective immediately, I'm requesting the rest of the day off to process." Says here that we will also be announcing later this afternoon free original glazed donuts to cope with the news.
Well, they turned that promotion around pretty quick. Okay. Same day.
Yeah.
5 to 7.
Yeah. Speaking of brands deciding to brand, DoorDash has also jumped in. Says that since they tweeted this out 2 hours ago, since she's no longer at the restaurant, 13% off all DoorDash orders with code 13 until 8/28 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. They put a ring emoji and a heart emoji.
Hey, listen, whatever gets you traction, whatever makes you money.
Like, it's wild.
Right?
Like,
yeah, there's got to be so many brands that have done something today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
Almost have to.
You have to jump on the biggest news story in the world right now.
Yeah, you have to.
As far as like pop culture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge.
Social media goes.
Yeah.
So there's also speculation that the engagement will be turned into a Topps 1-of-1 card.
Wow.
I did see somebody say if they had a Topps 1-of-1 Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce engagement card, auto
with a special inscription.
it would probably break a record.
It's kind of insane. But yeah, the interest.
Like a dual logo Taylor and Travis 1-of-1 auto.
I mean,
of their
maybe
engagement.
Honestly, maybe they will. Tops Now card.
I mean, they did a Pope card.
They did. Yeah, you're right.
Again, jump on the
whatever's
going to
make you money.
100%.
Whatever's going to make you money. And
make you money, social media engagements, traction.
So is this his last year? Is that the assumption that this is his last year in the NFL?
Well, what's his contract? Because he said he was going to play out his contract.
Okay. I don't know.
Kelsey contract. I think he might be in his last year. Right? If he's in his last year, he's got to be done.
AI says he recently signed a 2-year extension.
Oh, he did?
But I don't. Is AI right?
AI is always right, John.
Right.
So he right now is signed just through this season. He's an unrestricted free agent in 2026.
Got to be done, man.
There's nothing left to prove, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
35 years old. He'll be 36 next year. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot.
Yep.
He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Do you think it would be a big deal if they had children? Do you think people would be interested in that if she said like she was pregnant? Do you think that'd be a big deal? Taylor Swift. Like I'm trying to think like what tops this?
I know.
I guess the wedding.
The wedding will be massive.
Like if she ever has kids.
Like the first photo of Taylor in her wedding dress, the Swifties will literally melt and die.
Right.
It will be
trying to think like what tops this. Probably the wedding, and probably if they have kids.
If you were a streaming platform like Netflix or Peacock,
buy that. Buy the rights to that.
How much money would you shell out to buy the rights to air the wedding?
All of it. A lot. Because it's
like
going to make
like billion.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it costs. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, what do they spend to produce a movie on Netflix or something that's straight to
not
Netflix?
that much.
100 million, 50 million.
But here's the thing: I don't think they would want that to be aired live.
Right. They're already so public. Don't you want some things to be
100%
not as public as that?
Yeah.
But for $1 billion,
it would be this generation's royal wedding.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Like millions of people would tune in to watch that.
Completely.
Millions.
And they would make, and you're right, they'd probably make billions of dollars.
This wedding is sponsored by.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they want that.
Yeah, probably not. All right, Sean Lewis Show on the other side, where we do not discuss Travis and Taylor. Coming up tomorrow, Kevin Acey will join us. Padres wrapping up a series with the Mariners. We'll have full reaction tomorrow beginning at 2 p.m. All right, if you missed anything today, you know where to go. SportsSD.com, iHeartRadio app. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Sean Lewis Show on the other side. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.